And you only have to look as far as your local Wisconsin high school. You know, the place where the games are exciting, concessions are affordable, and the parking is free. Where the emphasis is on hustle and heart instead of hype. If you prefer real, honest-to-goodness sport played for all the right reasons, you'll find it at your hometown high school. High school sports. Games are being played this weekend at a Wisconsin high school near you. Okay, everybody, who's in?
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
We are Fox.
I'm Doug Russell. It was a mirror image of the Brewers-Mariners game from the night before. This time it was Milwaukee getting off to the hot start and then hanging on as Seattle mounted a comeback. A little insurance late was welcomed.
And that one's in the air to center field pretty deep. Rodriguez going back. He's at the wall. And she is gone. Garrett Mitchell backspins one off the batter's eye. That could have been the backbreaker right there.
Ryan Anderson on the play-by-play. Mitchell drove in 3 runs overall. After the game, he and his wife Haley announced they're expecting their first child together, a girl, sometime early next year, so congratulations to them. The Brewers beat the Mariners 7-4. They take the series 2-1. Milwaukee now welcomes in Atlanta for 3 starting this afternoon just after 3. Meanwhile, coming up tonight, it's preseason game number 2 for the Packers at Denver against the Broncos. Kickoff is set for 8 o'clock. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get out now, and make the play.
Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Let's cut and crack on a Friday morning in the good land. Welcome in, 5 o'clock clubbers. Welcome to the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew Olson, Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian bringing it to you. 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app. Streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. I have a feeling it's going to be a glorious day. It might rain a little bit in spotty places. And I have a feeling it's going to be a glorious weekend because we got so much on our plate. Buckle up. Brewers, Braves. This afternoon, 3 o'clock first pitch, probably 3:10. Mizorowski against Sale, best pitching matchup that we're going to see this season. And then Brewers Braves again tomorrow. And then Sunday in Williamsport, Packers Broncos tonight. We've got all that coverage for you holstered up along with Packers OT. Billy, we're going to have to double caffeinate.
Yeah, I was going to say, Drew, I actually almost woke up before the alarm today. That's when you know you wake up with as Coach LaFleur said, sometimes you just got to wake up with it hot. And when you wake up with it hot, you know that double shot of espresso is not going to be enough, but it is going to be a good start and a kickstart because we're going to have to play maybe some Kickstart My Heart later on tonight because we're going to have to fire this thing up throughout the day, throughout the night because there's no nap day. There's no nap time, even if you're Armen Sarian and you're trying to squeeze one in right before first pitch.
No, I missed that one.
I don't necessarily know that you're trying to squeeze, but I like where your head's at. I like that your head's waking up in the gutter at 5:04. But we're gonna have to be ready to roll later on here tonight because we're gonna get some starters for a couple of moments.
Yeah,
for a couple of brief moments. They may be fleeting, Drew. These aren't the good old days, but it will do.
It'll do. Kickstart my starters. Right, Kickstarter's my heart. Maybe
Kickstarter's
looking
my
for
heart.
something.
Keep
there.
trying, Armen.
No, keep trying.
Keep
but
workshopping
it might be, might not be a nap day. Might be.
Might
have to get something in. I mean, it's gonna be. It's almost a 24-hour day. It's a 22-hour day for us.
It's going to be nuts, yeah, because we'll be
1.
on. We could potentially be on the air until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
with Packers OT with an 8 o'clock kickoff.
Possible, but man,
Now-
we don't know yet. Yeah.
Sports works in cycles, and I always talk about regression to the mean, and it's my favorite sports theory because it's true.
Mm-hmm.
But week 1 preseason was just last Friday. Seems like a month ago already, doesn't it?
It's been a while. Yep.
It's like, what do we remember about the Packers and Steelers? It was like, oh well, it seems like a long time. We've pretty much done a physical memory dump of what we saw in that game.
Somehow
like,
I'm gonna have to remember just enough
what
of it.
color
in a little
jerseys
bit.
did the Packers wear? Like what?
White
Rodgers
Sox.
didn't play, and okay, Mason Rudolph. Anyway, what we saw in that game, 20 penalties, like 5 reviews. It was a slog. Maybe this one will be more crisp at altitude.
Well, you can only hope, Drew, and you can only hope that it's not as bad as the last time they went and played a preseason game in Denver. And we did a elongated post-game show last week. We did a very long post-game, if I remember correctly, of the 27-2 decision that happened in Denver a few years ago. I think it was 24, maybe like the second preseason game they played. No starters played. It was after they ran the joint practice. They were there for a week. It felt like it was actually like a long 3.5 days. We'll talk about it with the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrivee, when he stops by from the Mile Get High City in the 7 o'clock hour. But it was a long slog of a week. And the game ended up even being worse. So like that part, it can't be as bad as that one. But I don't want to tempt the sports gods because it is preseason football. It is closer to UFL than NFL. And this one is, once we get Bo Nix in and out, Jordan Love in and out, going to be a good test of your depth that did not show all that great in the fourth quarter in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and a good test. You remembering that as a good test of your depth. Because I was impressed. You remember what happened in the preseason a couple years ago. But you're right. That was the Bo Nix, like, joint practice, the Bo show, where all these reporters were breathlessly talking about how great he was in that one and how he was. I think Diana was one of them, actually, too. It was terrible.
Yeah, he wasn't for sure the starter at that point.
Yeah, no, definitely not. He was a rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah. So, obviously, that was one. Last year wasn't good. So, it just goes to show you don't know what's going to happen too much based on the preseason results. But, hey, maybe tonight will be a good one. We're looking for our first win still, so let's go get it tonight. Maybe tonight will be the night. Yeah,
let's go get it. And if not, no big deal.
No big deal. Honestly,
we'll be okay if
it doesn't count.
It just really doesn't matter. Just like that result, then Denver didn't matter to you.
Whereas the local baseball club got a victory yesterday, a stirring 6-run first inning. They scoring runs in bunches these days. And then a key insurance blast from Mr. Garrett Mitchell, who had himself a big day. Who's our number one Garrett Mitchell fan on the talking text line?
Our boy, Boss Dobler. Come on now.
And the YouTube commenters.
Show your face, Dobler. We'd respect you more. Come on now.
2 doubles, a dinger, and an expecting child.
And a child.
Man, you get some dad strength. It works out very well.
Garrett Mitchell won the day yesterday.
Were they waiting for the announcement for Garrett to bust out of the slump that he was in? Or was it just hey, you know what? We're going to tell everybody later today, so just relax a little bit.
Well, he would have thought he would have done it, empty the chamber after a 22-0 game when he got 3 hits, right?
That's true. Yeah. And he's like, all right, now I'm fully out of slump city.
Would have been
now
an
we can run it.
opportune
Now we can
moment.
let it run.
That's a good, I thought about that. It's like, well, we can announce this anytime within these next 3 weeks. Let's wait till you have a good day, Garrett. And then,
Yeah. And so he's, he got that going for him, which is nice.
That would also be a lot more thinking into it when in all reality, somebody that has now had one announcement of a baby and then one that we forgot to put out about the second baby, because that's kind of what happens, I guess, with the second kid. They just they happen, and then their life rolls on as everything else is happening. He probably had zero say. He had zero idea, zero say. Oh, sweet, we are letting everybody know. All right, cool. I just got 800 Instagram messages while I was out playing, so I guess I can say it to the guys that we're talking to here. Might as well let it rip. Thanks, babe. Appreciate you letting me let the cat out of the bag. But it's also nice when the short stroke that he puts and backspins that one out. Julio Rodriguez just kept drifting back. I thought he was going to do a PCA, Drew, and try robbing that thing when it was going to hit off the batter's eye, because that thing just kept spinning and carrying right out of that place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looked like he had a beat on it off the bat, right? Or at least the way he was drifting back. But you're right, Billy. It's all about that backspin, and he had it. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Reach us today. please, early and often, because it's going to be a long day. 877-794-1973. One thing that could make this day shorter is a lot of audience participation between 5 and 8.
Yeah, and this is the regression to the mean that you talk about as well. Like the regression to the mean for us is working significant the longer hours, right? Like because in the midst of now the off season, we have gone through days where it's in and out, turn and burn, and people are like, what do you guys do after 8 o'clock? What do you guys do after 8 o'clock? We get ready for football season, and this is when we get to shine throughout the day. I know that it is a long day. I know that it's going to be tough, but this is when champions are made. So let's put on a little smile. Let's fire it on up here for a game day. I feel like our daubers are down a little bit here in the morning.
No, it's okay. It's one of those things, Billy. You got to get the train pushed and started. All right, and today it's the Garrett Mitchell hype train, but it's a long one. So it's the momentum, right? It's a slow start. But once you get that thing pushing, and that's just like us today, we're going to be rolling fast today. So I believe in our ability. Maybe our dauber will be up. We just got to get it going a little bit here. But, as the minutes tick away and the hours tick away, it'll be going well today. So I have a good confidence in that, especially if the Brewers roll up and Miz rolls up and dominates Sale. That would be pretty nice. That would be a good way to go.
That would be nice. That would be nice if he beat a future Hall of Famer.
So let's see what happens there. But a lot of our listeners, a lot of the 5 o'clock clubbers in early to get us going a little bit. Pink Flamingo, good morning, guys. Sounds like a nap kind of day. Well, maybe. I don't know for some.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'd be great to be for me to nap by the pool, but I heard it's going to rain. So.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
That might suck.
Real Wild Troop. Looks like we have a new 5 o'clock clubber here. This is usually not my time of day to be alive.
Baby.
Is it too late to join the 5 o'clock club? Hell no, it's not too late.
You're in, man.
Well, you're early. That's the whole idea.
You're in the 5 o'clock club. Let me get you a number here.
By the way, we should be doing robust business today because, man, the crowd at the Y was epic today. It's like a nightclub.
Well, listen, it's Friday. You want to make sure that you get it in and let it run.
Get the pump in.
And also, it's the end of summer. So it's kind of that quest and that realization of, dang, I probably missed out on my summer body.
That's right.
I missed out on the best summer body in my life. But now I'm going to kickstart it for next year because I'm just going to not fall into, you definitely will, eating a bunch of Christmas cookies and be eating anything in your sight from November to January. So you might as well give yourself a good base and a runway.
I love that, Billy.
This is the danger zone, because you're just loading up. Starting with the state fair foods and trying to squeeze in and trying to choke down all the brats and burgers and stuff that you can. All the cookout foods, all the bad foods are rolling through.
As I walk by Saz's at Zoo a la carte yesterday, yes, I'm going to get chicken tenders and a Saz's platter. Like there's no way that I'm going to miss out on potentially the last Saz's sampler platter of the year. And
here comes the danger zone.
By the way,
can I make crab rangoons at home? I think I could deep fry and find something like that. Yeah, why not? Let's figure that out.
The man himself, the Duke of Sazama, Steve Saz Sazama, just had a birthday.
I was going to say it was his birthday this week.
Oh, that's amazing.
Saz.
Happy
right
birthday.
after the fair.
He's
the man.
Saz, a legend.
Is the man.
A legend
Absolute
unlike
legend.
any other around here, man.
Legend and a longtime friend of the show. It's outstanding. All right. 877-794-1973. Brewers with an uplifting victory yesterday, setting the stage for a big weekend series against the Braves, who played yesterday in Chicago in a makeup game and then rolled on up. Meanwhile, now that the Mariners are out of town and that the Brewers took 2 of 3 for their 7th straight home series win.
That works out.
You got to start cheering for the Mariners double barrel because they're hosting the Cubs this weekend.
Yeah, and they also they've decided that they need a boost. They need something exciting. They need somebody to freshen things up, and they're calling up top pitching prospect in baseball, Cade Anderson. The lefty's going to start against the Cubs coming
Let's
up
hope
on
he's like
Saturday.
Miz. Let's hope he shoves.
I love it. And also, shout out Seattle. Great decision to pick this weekend for his start instead of this past Saturday or Wednesday.
Straight.
Would not have been a good idea. Get that pop at home.
Brewers put it on a pretty good pitcher, Kirby, yesterday. Pretty good stuff, and Brewers put it on him with a touchdown in the first inning.
He was one of the names that really started surfacing around the deadline. Seattle didn't do much, and Depoto's been one of the guys that always takes big swings. They didn't really do a buy or a sell this year.
Yeah, they're just kind of floating around, and look at they're reeling. People think that they're upset about Yelich's drop off. The big dumpa went from 60 homers and MVP conversation, losing to Judge, but then now he's just on a milk carton and just lost.
Yeah, and I was listening to baseball's favorite psychologist, Joe Madden, with the Foul Territory guys yesterday, and they were talking about Kyle Tucker And then they mentioned Cal Raleigh, and they started rolling through a number of these big time names. Mookie Betts for the longest time was in like the midst of one of the worst seasons of his career.
Well, and he had the illness, yeah.
And you really start realizing that it is not just the plus 30 club of Yelich that's in the swoon of a 2025 season or 2026 season. There's a ton of big name, high profile players for some of these top teams, especially the best teams in the league that are still having guys have completely off years. And you mentioned Judge. The Yankees have done this for the last 4 months without Judge.
Without him.
And there's no sign of him coming back. Like, it doesn't sound like there's any real inkling that he's for sure coming back by the playoff time.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I mean, for a while it was Tatis. He's turned it around, but mentioned Guerrero, Bichette. Like, there are guys that
Vlad's another name.
So many players that you expect to be good. It just shows you that results aren't promised, and it's harder and harder to sustain that level of play. It seems like maybe these days, maybe it's just the recency bias, but it seems like it's harder these days for a lot of great players to sustain that level of play. So, if anything, Yelich has been somewhat better at it over the course of the years. Now he's dropped off this year, but look at a guy like Cal Raleigh. Yeah, you're right with the Mariners. I mean, it's not often one guy can make a whole difference on your team, but that's one guy that's caused, if they got what they expected out of him this year, that's 7 wins. I mean, I think his WAR is still negative, but it was like a 7 WAR. That's 7 wins. That totally changes the trajectory of your team. They'd be a playoff team. So it's pretty crazy, but interested and excited and anxious to see this Cade Anderson, no doubt. Hopefully he just dominates that first game. He had a 1.06 ERA in Double-A, and he's the best pitching prospect in baseball. And he was the top story on the old ESPN.com MLB page. So it's a big deal when he's coming up and he's the top story. So let's love to see him work and get crazy and get nuts and dominate that lineup, which is not a good, easy lineup.
And let's get nuts. We get a little West Coast action to pay attention to while we're in the midst of Packers OT tonight, because Cubs and Mariners will start up at about 9:10 out there in the cappuccino capital of the world.
That's the key, Billy. You got it. That's the key, right?
Brewers enter the weekend again. Big series against the Braves, measuring stick series against another solid National League contender, and they enter with a 5-game lead in the division.
Impressive stuff. 5-game lead for the Brewers in the division, 5-game lead for the Braves in their division. Feels like the Brewers one is closer, and then you look at the numbers and you understand why. I think the Phillies have like a plus 15 run differential. The Cubs are plus 100, and their records are not that's dissimilar, but just the way one team is played, and the lineup for Philadelphia is good. But the Cubs have just been playing at such a ridiculous pace to try to hold them off. I do like that it can be a measuring stick, Drew, because whether consciously or subconsciously, fans are going to do it. Yeah. And I don't know that players do at all, but that when you're going to get Miz and Henderson on the mound, there's going to be 38 to 42,000 plus in that place all weekend long. It's going to be hard not to think of it as a huge series with 2 big time games.
No question. By the way, courtesy of that 22-0 romp that we referenced earlier, Brewers lead the majors in run differential plus 159.
My favorite stat, yes.
Whereas the Dodgers are plus 145.
Eat your heart out, LA.
I like being able to beat them in that one.
Well, and we're going to talk about that because the news that's coming out about the Dodgers ownership and the financial dealings therein, and now it's all related, the sale of the Lakers, and this Mark Walter guy is in it. The bills are coming due, the lights are coming on, and the roaches are scurrying.
That's right.
And you don't know how much of the 27% controlling stake that he has in the Dodgers, how quickly that can get liquefied, and then how quickly all that money ends up coming due on these deferred payments. That makes it maybe less of an exciting asset to go and purchase.
If I was Shohei, I'd be a little nervous because they owe me a lot of money in the 2040s, and if this thing they look for a way for them to go bankrupt and say, "Oh, sorry, you're just another creditor that we're not going to be able to pay."
Yeah, I apologize. We're not going to be able to give you your.
These things are supposed to be prepaid and pre-funded when you do deferred money, but when you're kiting money around the way that the Dodgers apparently have been. We'll get into that. I am not a financial expert. I can barely handle my own finances. Not even good. But I've said this for years. People would ask me about, these owners say they're not making any money. It's like, well, there's some book cooking going on. There's some Hollywood accounting. And no pun intended with the Dodgers. But I was like, imagine that you made your fortune with a dry cleaning company. You have dry cleaning outlets all over the country. And then you buy a franchise. And then we got to launder our uniforms. So we launder our uniforms and our cash through our dry cleaning business, and we charge ourselves exorbitant fees, and we have a huge expense, and we're not making any money over here.
No money over,
but we're making huge record income over at the dry cleaning side.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that they've been doing, and there's a shell game that's been going on forever, and it's basically the story of our whole financial system, underpinned by just insider dealing and grift and
a lot of your money being spent around
everybody getting grease. And so the Dodgers have all
life
these
insurance policies
bankrolled, all these loans bankrolled by insurance companies owned by the ownership group. So it's what they call a closed loop of, they're where everybody else, and then they were using it to hide revenue from their TV operation, because their whole TV operation they own.
As that bankrupt deal has become a real sweetheart deal for them.
Billy. But that deal was, people forgot
so
about
it's the
that
perfect storm. So everybody who said, including Dave Roberts, anybody can operate the way we do. No,
seems
not
like
anybody
not the
can,
case,
and it might not be ethical or legal.
No, that's okay. I'm waiting for all those arrogant punk, whiny, snob-ass Dodger fans to say, anyone could have done this. Well, sure, anyone could pay it. If you're running a Ponzi scheme, anyone can do it.
Armen passive-aggressively firing shots at his cousins from the bachelor party.
I was going to say, that one.
Clip the tape and send it out on the group chat.
Anyone could have made this signing. Any of these owners could do it. They're just too cheap. No, they're just not under federal investigation.
Their effective payroll with the Scuba sign is like
$481
million or something like that.
Well, and whatever the deal is for Ohtani, because I thought about it instantly as I listened to I'm going to forget her name on the breakdown of it from The Athletic. When you're putting one of your creditors as Dodger tickets, probably not hiding it very well.
Yeah,
probably not hiding it very well. But if you're Ohtani, and whatever the present day value of my $700 million actually was, like middle fours, whatever. I guess it's only like $463 million present day value. Could he opt out if they sell it and make more?
Good question.
I mean, like at this exact moment, have you missed out on the full window of Shohei Ohtani? Or if he opted out, could he sign another 5-year deal that would be worth, I don't know, $400 million?
Yeah. Or what would it be worth right now for 1 year? And could he do that like the old LeBron thing? Like, think about it. If there was an open market for 1 year on Shohei, what would it be worth? People would pay. There'd be some crazy numbers if teams knew they could get him for just 1 year, and then he could do that year. I mean, it's a risk.
If you're getting Kyle Tucker for $60 million a year,
hey, come on.
I'll find a way to dig it up in the seat cushions if I'm one of these owners to see if I can get Shohei.
All right, that's. We can talk about this at length. We'll kick it around. It's one of those things, man. That's as the storm cloud of a potential lockout looms on the horizon, you get this story, and then it's going to be like, well, come on. We got to get
They weren't going to wreck baseball, though.
Got our stuff in order here. 877-794-1973. Packers in Denver tonight. We'll be on the call for Packers OT following the game. We got all the coverage for you right here. 920 in Milwaukee. Fox Sports Radio Milwaukee, a part of the Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin network, along with our friends at WTSO 1070 in Madison. We'll be airing the game tonight on 920 Milwaukee and 95.7. Madison, you guys get it on WIBA.
This is a happening ticket out in Denver. $50 for the
get-ins?
For the minimum get-in? All right. Holy cow.
People love the pack, and they love the dispensaries. We will.
Amen to that. Hey, we love our green.
We'll take a quick break. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.
deep. Rodriguez going back. He's at the wall, and she is gone. Garrett Mitchell backspins one off the batter's eye.
That could have been the backbreaker right there. Boy, Garrett Mitchell, lefty versus lefty, knocks one out of here. Boy, the Brewers needed that in a big way. Now a 3-run lead.
Highlight from yesterday, American Family Field, the first of 3 straight day games at home for the Brewers. Don't know that they've done that in a while.
Yeah, no kidding.
3:10 start today, 1 yesterday, and then another 1:10 start Saturday, which is rare, but necessitated because it's a getaway game Saturday. Both teams are flying out to get to Williamsport to play Sunday night at the Little League World Series site.
And I don't know for sure the 3:00 start today, but I like it. Like they do the 1 3:00 for the alumni game. I kind of just like having one on a Friday kickstart the afternoon and roll into then open people up to, I don't know, Armen gets into this all the time when we talk about, games on holidays that apparently you want to see your family. Apparently we all want to talk to people and talk to relatives and things like that. Then you know what? A good Friday night in Milwaukee the cross state of Wisconsin, right at the tail end of summer, they free it up for you to go and have a bonfire or something. Go and just enjoy some camaraderie in the neighborhood on a Friday night. That's a beautiful thing.
When I was a beat hack, the 3:00 starts weren't our favorite because you're still there at like noon. And you're there until 8. So it's like it chews up the entire day. And then you get out and like you finish work at 8-ish. And then and then you got the rest of your night free. But it's still like that's kind of not as good as the 1:00, whereas you're in and out and
then it differentiates.
Done,
you get one of them.
Just a couple hours makes a big difference. You get out and then you're done working at 6, like, then I can go to an early dinner.
Sure.
I can make more plans and attend something. But if you get off at 8, your options are more limited as for entertainment.
It's like the when the Brewers or a team will have the in between travel day, and it will be like, well, you're gonna leave and we're gonna play on Tuesday. We wrap up the game at 4:00 on Sunday. Some people are like, well, go sleep in your own bed and then fly out on Monday morning, and then you're just into the next city there. Well, it's not really a day off. In a sport travel. When you get 20 days off in 6 months, not really a day off. You hop on a plane and fly for 3 hours.
Yeah, you still commit to the day. So
there's
a little awkwardness there. But I guess the best way to do it is to do like Pete Chang here on YouTube and just go to the game.
Let's go,
Happy Friday, fellas. Early hook for the gas last night. I like that we're calling him the gas. But Crew gets another series job. Going to the game today, Sale versus Miz. Yeah, just make a day of it.
By the way, that was interesting. Second time this year, Murph is sending a message, hooking a guy in the middle of a 2-0 count.
Yeah, send the message. Yeah,
my wife asked me
that's like pulling a reliever or pulling an outfielder. We talked about Andrew Jones yesterday because the Brewers have all these young guys. When he was like 19, he loafed after a fly ball. And I don't know if Maddox, one of the stars, was pitching, obviously, because it was the Braves in their heyday. And Bobby Cox just hooked him in the middle of an inning. Sent a guy out
of here.
He had to jog in.
That's rare.
That's rare. And the guy ended up being a Hall of Famer. But that was, that took some huevos. And it's like, you're coming off right now. And the guy had to jog out with his glove and
get a couple of warm-up tosses and let it ride. Well, I would have loved to see Bobby just on the top of the dugout there as he waddled on up here. Come on.
Go get your center fielder in the middle of an inning.
Well, when
the ultimate embarrassment.
When Billy Martin did it to Reggie Jackson, that started one of the biggest fights.
History,
like the most famous dugout fights ever. This side of Manny Parra and Prince Fielder.
That's right.
And there's actually video of this one.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the ultimate disrespect for a player to be pulled. But
to get pulled in a 2-0 count, after a pass ball, and the pass ball was clearly a pass ball. Sanchez just missed it. But
tough spot for Chad though to be.
Yeah, and the Brewers again they overcame themselves. Like give a guy a 6-0 lead, and that's where your young guys, you think with 6-0 lead, it's automatic, just pump strikes. Well, it's not that easy.
No, and especially when you've been in as many high leverage situations as he has, you can't keep walking the yard. And I do love the fact that he's just like, I'm just not going to see this anymore. We're not going to deal with this anymore. Let me see somebody else. And Robert, we're going to switch up to the out of the 6-man rotation, and you just made yourself a hell of a bid to go find yourself in the bullpen with one of those.
Yeah, go pitch in the pen. All right, so we got a bunch of Brewers assets today, audio assets. So should we spin through Hunter's recap first?
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Sure.
Let's take it away. Our Brewers recaps brought to us by Import Minded. Let's turn it over to the great Hunter Baumgart.
Thanks, guys. The Brewers take another series at home. They have not lost a series in Milwaukee since late June. They beat the Mariners yesterday 7-4, 6 runs in the first inning. Garrett Mitchell right in the middle of it. Didn't know if he was going to play. I mean, he in his head determined that he was going to play, but the official announcement came about an hour and a half before the game when the lineup came out that he was playing in center field and batting 7th. Well, he was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a home run. He talked about how it felt in the first inning when the team scored 6 runs.
I feel like when we do that, it's like kind of like what JB was saying a little bit ago, like just chill, right? Like you're not trying to do too much, and I feel like as a group you just kind of feed off of that. So I think when you see the first couple guys get on and things start moving around, like I said, you know the pressure's on the pitcher in that way, so you're not going up there trying to do more. You're trying to see pitches, but you're also trying to just get the first one over the plate and try to make contact too. But hats off to all the guys in front of me and behind me for having quality at bats.
And on the pitching side yesterday, Robert Gasser, not great. Had to be taken out in the 4th inning, so the bullpen had to pick him up, just like they had to pick up Dustin May the day before. And throughout the series against Seattle, the bullpen was dynamite. Did not allow a run. Aaron Ashby talked to us about how it feels in that bullpen right now.
Just a testament to the guys down there. I think that everyone's ready to throw every day. We look forward to picking each other up, picking the starter up. It's just kind of like Greeny gets us locked in when that phone rings early, and it's like we just got to hold the line, like one inning after another. Chad today, DL yesterday, Billy, all of them. Just phenomenal job. I think it helped us win the game today for sure.
So the Brewers roll into today's marquee matchup at American Family Field. Jacob Mizorowski on the mound against Chris Sale, 3:10 first pitch. Then the Brewers host the Braves tomorrow. And then on Sunday, they both, Braves, Brewers, head to Williamsport to face each other in the Little League Classic. You've got Logan Henderson on the mound tomorrow, and then Shane Drowan on the mound in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming up on Sunday night. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Have a great weekend, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter B.
I like to throw in have a great weekend. It's nice to be able to catch a little bit of love. I like that. Also, Garrett Mitchell really wanted to say it. You could tell he really wanted to say the F word, but he decided that he wasn't going to. As he's got to set that example for the new youngster.
For the new youngster.
Mark.
Yeah.
That's really good.
You can just start saying fudge, Garrett. It's okay. That's the easiest way around it.
The homer was great and getting a couple, but that hustle double that he had,
big.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he's got some wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And we had somebody on the talk and text line right out of the shoot earlier on today, Tommy and Salas. Am I the only one getting lefty brawn vibes from Mitchell? Might be the only one on that side.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go that far with it. But the athleticism and the ability to showcase it right there, Drew, like he does have right now speed, and it's almost sometimes slept on.
I have him
both swinging a big stick for sure.
I've always had my comp for him was Steve Finley.
Oh, I like that.
Played
Drew.
for the Diamondbacks.
Muscle bound guy.
The Giants. No, he was like a wiry. He was kind of built like Mitchell, but just really fast, great defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
Had pop. He might have been a little bit more of a consistent hitter in terms of, but then everybody was a better hitter back then because they didn't have as many guys throwing disgusting stuff like they do.
Yeah, and contact was so much more lauded and celebrated. I think if you look at a lot of the underlying numbers for Mitchell and his plate discipline, got a lot better throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And now, Drew, it shouldn't be the craziest thing because he's actually seeing pitching every day, right? Like not having to get interrupted for 2 or 3 months from rehabbing from a major injury can be a way of it. But in the first, 2 months of the year, some of his strikeouts were painstaking 3 pitches and just like looked bad. His chase rate is so far down over the last 2.5 months that it's impressive how he is working himself at the plate, knowing that he can hit mistakes. Now I just got to be able to hunt them and not allow somebody to feed me a bunch of junk.
Yeah, that pitch selection is such a big factor for him. Obviously, it was for guys like Jackson as well. Got to be able to stay out of the way of hitting their pitches and make sure they give you their pitches or your pitches and you go get them. So it's been really important for him. Good to see him get lathered up again a little bit. Going to need him for the stretch run. Going to need that Garrett Mitchell we got in the beginning of the year to get going again. And it seems like he always makes a great defensive play when these games happen. And last night to finish the game, ran that ball down in center. Thing of beauty.
Yeah, a couple of nice plays in the 9th inning. So that was huge, as they say. 877-794-1973. Yeah, the Gasser thing was interesting. And Murph went and got him and kind of made the statement. But man, the way the guys like Patrick and Ashby's been so good. Ashby worked into his own trouble in his 2nd inning of work.
Mm-hmm. And got himself into some, but got
out of it.
Yep.
Got out of it. And then McGill McGill's to the point where he's going to serve one up soon, and people are going to lose it. And then they're going to negate the 15 straight scoreless outings or whatever.
You're going to forget just how dominant he's been.
He hasn't. Guys don't even reach base against him in this stretch. But then that becomes your expectation. And
he's given up 3 runs in 3 months.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah,
And
3 earned runs since summer started in June.
But you're right. The expectation for guys like that increases to your right, Drew. You expect them to never give up a run. And when they do, everyone's going to say, I told you what's wrong. Yeah, problems.
You know who went through that was Senzatella, too. He's had a couple of rough ones, and it's like, he sucks. Yeah. And people want to jump off of Dustin May after a 1 start. You know, it's like, he was terrible. Mayday. Is that going to be, they're going to say Mayday now when he pitches?
I saw certain people want to DFA him. And Senzatella, it's like there's no chance. I mean, like he's been way
been
too
good for too long. And
yeah,
it's like you're gonna have those hiccups. Relievers give up runs.
Also,
they do. It's and it gets magnified, but
it gets magnified. It's also a completely different operation than he's had for his first 7 years in the big leagues. There might be a change.
Yeah, a little bit of change.
And Josh Hader had a really cool stance and statement about the Brewers and about getting traded at the deadline, because there's a lot of national outlets that still are frustrated and will go to their dying days of saying that the Brewers are not doing enough, won't try to win. This way of going about business isn't great. And, Hader was maybe one of the biggest case studies of it when he gets shipped out at the deadline and how much that actually impacted the locker room. He's like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to fault what they're totally doing. He's like, you look at it, I guess we could nitpick, but maybe that's how they keep getting great young players and how they continually develop pitching. Looks like they're developing hitting right now too. It's not a bad place to go. Really not a bad place to be. Sure, if we could get one huge player at the deadline, maybe that does help. There's no guarantee that guy doesn't come in and is in the midst of moving his family and has the worst 2 months of his career. Perspective that you never think of when you add somebody in there right now.
Don't be throwing logic at us like that. What are you trying to do?
Yeah, Billy.
That wasn't me. It was Josh Hader.
Yeah, that's a good point. As Garrett Mitchell said, guys, it's chill. All right, it's chill. 6-run inning, it's chill. I like that.
Yep. 877-794-1973. Your ticket to join us. Audience participation vital today.
We got some texts.
Got some really good ones.
We'll spin through them as we move forward. The great Wayne Larrivee joins us today at 7:25 live from Denver.
And Wayne loves mountains. Wayne loves the Utah mountains.
That's right.
I don't know if the Colorado Rocky Mountains and the Utah mountains, if they're friends or not, but I'm excited to be able to enjoy that one. He will be in his happy place. No doubt about it.
Ask him. Absolutely. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Friday in the good land. Drew, Belly, and Armen bringing it to you. Reach out to us, 877-794-1973. Let us know you're out there, 5 o'clock clubbers. It's 5 o'clock club on a Friday. Now, here's a question that probably only applies to us. If you're in the 5 o'clock club and you're a proud card-carrying member, do you get up at 5 a.m.? Are you up and around on Saturday and Sunday? Or are you like us and trying to be a more normal and stay up later and wake up later?
That's a good question, Drew, because there's I would actually say there's probably, now this is going to be just because of the location we're in. I think Saturday there might be even more 5 o'clock clubbers. Because if you're going to get out on the water and you're going to be trying to catch yourself some lunch and dinner, you're going to be getting up early.
Golfers, you're right.
Golfers, they're going to be getting up early. Our boy, Chucky Garbedian, used to always tell me that when I said, yeah, I really like playing early, like 7:30.
Chuck is.
I got 12 holes in by that time. Like, Chuck damn, I didn't know he teed off that early.
Chuck is warming up when it's still almost too dark to see where your tee shot goes.
He told me he's like, when the sun rises over your third hole, that's when you know you hit it right. What did you do in the first two? Hit it straight.
Hit it straight.
That's a pretty good way of thinking it. Okay, I guess so.
That.
Yeah.
If you got to turn the light on your phone to find your ball in the fairway, something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Now, fishermen, golfers, and isn't like water skiers? Don't you have to get up early to get the right water? I've never water skied, but I heard that somewhere.
It's definitely more of a sheet of glass. If you get out there earlier.
I'm sure it's a very spiritual experience.
Yeah. But if you're out there at 6:30 and folks are really thinking they're going to grab a big walleye, and you come out here dropping a ski and trying to slalom around, you are going to look like the hole.
No wake, buddy. Look at the sign. No wake.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, my pops was a big water skier back in the day.
Really? I never knew that.
Huge water skier.
Not saying I wouldn't have predicted that, but that's pretty
cool.
cool.
You wouldn't have, because then you would look at me and be like, well, that kid ain't doing it.
Was he doing like the Tommy Bartlett show and all that stuff, or no?
I believe he tried out once or twice.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's a big one skier, and disappointment to the entire family when your boy couldn't get up on skis. But that would be the one where maybe at some point, but I think you're trying to get something to eat if you're getting up this early in the outdoors, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to catch something to throw on the grill.
Some protein, yeah.
Or potentially, I mean, we are going to be getting into pheasant season here pretty soon.
I mean, those birds.
I know our friend
flying.
Paul Wagner's always trying to figure out exactly the right time for turkey season.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be getting into some good hunting time here where this is the time to be waking up. Or
just come back here in the iHeart Megaplex.
There's even more folks that are going to be waking up early tomorrow, Drew, maybe a little bit bleary-eyed, but they got to wake up for film because it's night one of high school football across the state of Wisconsin.
Dang, let's go.
You got to look at that tape. You got to burn through that film before the boys come in here, and they're going to get in here for a workout at 8 a.m.
That's
right.
right.
So I guess I might as well get up a little earlier and go and check this out and chart this film before we get back. But
fantastic.
The best and the most fun part of the year.
Yeah. High school ball. They had a game last night.
There were some really good games going on last night. And also the cool to be able to see. Now, this is just in our portion of the state. Hart Park has been such an institution football wise for so long. It was devastated and ripped up through the floods that we had just over a year ago. Back at practice was Tosa East at Hart Park. Marquette's going to be playing some football games there again. That is a beautiful one because way too many teams playing at Hart Park for that one to be out of commission. So that was cool to be able to see that it's back up and running. And we're thinking about everybody up there in the Menasha area as they're displaced with what happened to their stadium. And those kids had such a cool moment with the Packers this past weekend, and wish them all good luck throughout the season. But also good luck to the parents tonight. If you're listening to us and you're watching, good luck to you. Now calm down, take a deep breath. Maybe walk around a little bit if you have to. Or if you walk around, you might just end up like that dad of the Timber Rattlers kid. You might walk right into the first home run that the kid has. You might walk right into the end zone where your kid scores his first varsity touchdown. It'll be a perfect time here tonight. Pewaukee at Greendale? That's a good one. That's a barn burner.
Maybe I'll walk by that game. Well, in case I can't.
I used to be in the Woodland Conference, but now Pewaukee into the Classic 8.
Classic
dog
8 now,
walking.
right? Yeah.
Kimberly Sussex game ended up being a very good one for the Sussex Chargers.
I like that. I like that we're starting to talk high school football again. Makes you feel like, you're at home. Like summer's ending, fall starting, and it's
well. And this would be the week, Armen, where we could do our Who Drove Further Bowl.
That was my favorite one. Drew, you gotta get into that with us, man.
Who drove
I mean, we
further?
usually do that for the state tournament because
State championship. It really slaps when you got to meet into the middle there at Camp Randall.
The non-conference games, yeah.
Some big travels for the non-con that are rolling through. Like Nathan Hale's been in the news.
Yeah.
They've got Kakana coming in.
Oh, how about that?
Hour and a half drive to go for the game. Kimberly Sussex. That's no right next door neighbor.
No, it's not. No,
Big,
it's not, Billy. Yeah.
Nina Arrowhead next
Big
week.
game yesterday with Janesville Parker and Monona Grove.
Oh, that's a good one. Our boy Sean was fired up about the Monona Grove start.
Right.
Janesville Parker, and then there's Janesville Craig.
That's correct. Yes.
So I'm trying to think which one. I think Rob Logterman went to Craig, former Marquette.
Rob
star.
Lagerman, yeah. He did, I think.
I don't know why I dropped that in. Just thought I would.
I love that, baby. Come on.
You love your Marquette references on there.
Craig, yeah.
He's always ringing out a Hoya.
What are the Slinger Owls doing? We got to celebrate Allie Beers.
Hey, that's right.
And celebrate her brother.
Your shirt
Mr.
arrived
Pearson.
yet?
No, but I did get the confirmation order. I went with the gray with the Marquette scrim.
Gray's good because it'll work with everything. Derek and Whitewater, I'll be sleeping at 5 o'clock the next 2 mornings. Well, I hope I will too.
Oh, let's go, Derek.
But
Come
we'll
on
see
now.
what happens. I can't always guarantee I won't wake up.
I was going to say that definitely determines on the human alarm clocks. Because I'm still not at the point where Drew said is the best stage of parenting when the kids are just old enough to wake up, go pour their own cereal, and go turn on their own cartoons.
There you go.
Or Brewers highlights.
That's
and then
all
you
you
can
need.
sleep through it for the next hour and a half.
You get that extra blissful hour and a half.
And Barrister's dropping knowledge on the text line that I'm going to need a little more time and coffee to understand. You just sound too smart for me right now, Barrister.
Yeah.
About important, smart things. We'll sift through it.
The caffeine will hit soon. Yeah. And Wayne Larrivee is going to join us again, 7:25 live from Denver. We got Packers, Broncos tonight. We got Brewers, Braves this afternoon. A reverse doubleheader from last week. Last week it was Packers exhibition game and Brewers playing late on the West Coast. Today it's the Brewers playing early, and then you can gather and get some libations and some sustenance, and then Packers, Broncos, reverse doubleheader. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. Tuesday night, the Mariners jumped out in front early on the Brewers. Wednesday afternoon, Milwaukee turned the tables on Seattle.
Mitchell, a big bouncer over the head of Naylor. This is going to bring in two more. Mitchell on his way to second. It's a 2 RBI double. A 5 spot on the board in the first inning for Milwaukee.
The great BA on the call alongside Rock. Mitchell hit an insurance home run later in the game. The Brewers beat the Mariners 7-4. The Atlanta Braves now come to town for 3 starting this afternoon just after 3 o'clock. It's the Packers and the Broncos tonight, preseason game number 2. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. And Wisconsin hockey coach Mike Hastings has added to his staff. He brings in assistant coaches Andy Brandt. Steve Briere is the new goaltenders coach. And former Badgers legend and NHL All-Star Joe Pavelski also joins the staff. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you. You need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Friday edition, the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, rolling along for you, Drew Olson, Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian. We are headed into a big weekend.
Yeah, you could say
sports
that.
in
Yep.
life, because I'm already seeing on my social media feeds folks pumping in the back to school pictures.
Oh, they're
boy,
coming.
here we
You
go.
guys are getting close to that.
Here come the chalkboards and the easels,
Yeah.
of everyone talking about
First
where they live.
day. First day of school.
Yeah,
It's
first
a
day
great
of school.
ritual. We used to always take a picture of my sprout. Now they pop up on my memories, and it's always fun.
Right, it throws you right back into the thought process and all those great memories. Now I got 3K starting up for the oldest one next week.
I was going to say, Billy,
probably
you're
know
starting this now, right?
I should probably know this.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
because
is tough.
there's definitely a parent orientation that I have on the docket that is going to be locked into my memory bank on that calendar. One of these moments for. Well, yeah, you got to go in there,
All right,
see
here are
what's
the
going
puzzles,
on, see what's
here are the
happening.
games, here are the balls. Like, what are they orientating? I know it's important. I'm just kidding. It's just kind of funny. I was talking about it last night a little bit. with
I
my
thought
sister.
you'd be all excited about this as your alma mater of preschools that you've
True. I'm a legacy alum.
that
Yeah.
legitimately, Drew. When I've told people that Carson is going to be going to 3K, Armen has actually jumped in off the top rope. It's my old preschool. It's pretty awesome. It's a great spot. Like one of the best
course.
spots in the area to go to. It's
Oh my
it's
God.
great next to a church.
Well,
But
it
appreciate
is, yeah.
somebody being there, knowing how great it is. So you
Well,
should know how great this orientation
do.
is going to be to know where the kitchen toys are,
I don't know if they
where
had
the food are.
I don't know if they had orientation when I went.
I guarantee they did.
I couldn't
You
believe
think
it.
people are just going to hand over their kids without going and talking
No,
to the
they
people
have
there
to.
for a couple of minutes?
They have to. Now you have pre-K and 4K.
We're also going to cross-verify
And
that
5K.
that whole sheet that you got there. We want to make sure we got all the
that
right
sheet,
information.
all the supplies. Is there a supply list for that age? Probably. Like bring the snacks, bring the
Bring a snack for yourself, yeah.
So I'm
Might as well
excited
bring a
though
marker or
for
two.
you, and we're probably gonna send Lennon to the same one, and my sister's kids go there. My thing was the teachers were different than when I went. Now, I
No
know
way,
it's
really?
been 40 years, but I go, hey, is
What?
Mrs. Reed still there? No, I knew it, Drew. Okay, like
Come on.
he's like, no,
There's
Armen,
no
it's
way
been
he was
40
joking.
years.
There's no way.
No, I know things change. All right. I know things change.
I did attend the same high school as my parents, and some of the teachers were crossovers.
Now, that's a
and they would remember it real quick. The name would come.
Oh, yeah. I had a big
I was going to say, you had a big extended family, kind of an important family.
Yeah,
people knew about.
A lot of cousins.
But you had older siblings, right? Obviously,
Yeah, I had an older
Billy,
sister, yeah.
and you had
And
one
Billy,
too,
yeah.
Drew, and so did I. So was it always for you guys when you walked into class and it was like, oh, you're so-and-so's little brother. And if she was a high achiever, I was always like in the jackpot because she was a high achiever. So it's like, you better be as good as her. Like, well, wait a minute now. You're going to judge me individually, okay?
And then you were a high achiever and you lived up to the billing. Now try having your sister be the high achiever and then you be very middle of the road and the most annoying kid in the class. That was the one to get. Why couldn't you be a little bit more like your sister?
Did you get that actually?
All the time.
But look at you now, Billy. Now you're hosting Packers.
Nothing was better than the I mean, you could just probably like leave it into the text window, like the text box is really conversational. And it's just extremely conversational young man.
I got that a lot,
very
too.
social young man. Talks out of turn a bit.
Appreciate his enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's out of turn, stuff like that.
Quite a bit of talking out of turn conversations, which listen, that has never changed.
Never changed.
Now, Armen, we know Armen. It's great.
Just got worse.
He's excited. He loves enthusiasm.
With impressive training, by the way, Drew. That's what people ask.
the thing.
That's what people ask. What did you major in college? I majored on how to annoy people. Settle in, and I'll see if it worked.
And now you do it. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke, Billy. I think you do a great job on the air. That was a joke. Well, I prepared you.
I love it.
Couldn't make that joke without doing a straight face. Red Hot Tim, not our girl started school yesterday. This past Wednesday already. Summer flew by. Hold on, August 19th.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
I know some colleges, right?
Some
I mean,
schools.
in college we would do it. And if you were an RA, you had RA training. All right, so you were there early. Obviously.
Today's the 21st, man.
That's crazy, but I didn't know. I remember it being Labor Day. Am I just
Labor Day is also the latest it possibly can be this year. I think that has something to do with it. I also think the other part is, and maybe I'm wrong here, you're almost like building in for the fact that like it gets snow days nowadays.
Yeah.
It snows like 3 or 4 inches. We're probably going to go virtual for the day. So
true.
we might as well build in a couple of days more in the beginning and have some leash for the cold days.
It started to creep. I blame football because it was like we were playing our second or sometimes third game before school even starts.
Before school started, yes, 100%.
Pretty wild. Yeah. Football crept up and into the earlier part of the summer.
It just continued to move. And I mean, with the new WIAA rules where you're basically able to practice throughout the whole summer,
Pretty much.
It changed a lot of it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Hit us up 877-794-1973. Packers, Broncos tonight, preseason game 2. Oh, baby. Our coverage tonight, because it's an 8 o'clock start, begins at 4 o'clock with Doug Russell here in Milwaukee, on the big 920 and
95.7 Big FM.
Doug Russell gets us started with the Packers. What is it? Packers game day.
Packers
And then
game day.
Packers preview with Dennis Krause, Mike Heller, James Jones, and Wes Hodkowitz. And then the game. And then Packers OT with me and Billy, probably kicking off at about midnight.
Right around that. Hopefully a little bit sooner. Hopefully we get this thing rolling. And hopefully we don't have 5 video replays in the first half.
Let's get this
that
thing
was
rolling.
the part of last week that was not only the Weekend part of the second half where Drew Aller looked like he was playing 7-on-7. That was frustrating in and of itself. The video replays and significant ones throughout the first half should be illegal in preseason games. You get 30 seconds. If it's right, it's wrong.
That's it.
Do it like
I like
baseball told us they were going to do.
I like it.
They told us it was going to be 30 seconds and go, and said, it's 2.5 minutes either way, but let's expedite that thing a little bit.
We will chat with Wayne Larrivee, voice of the Packers, live from Denver, 7:25 today.
Yeah.
Get you ready.
And Wayne's going to get another full dose of regular season here because Broncos are going to play some starters all the way to the 90th man on the roster.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the Packers are going to do pretty much the exact same tonight with Jordan Love expected to go.
That's exciting. That's never promised anymore in NFL preseason to actually get a lot of starters or significant starters. So the fact that we'll get some, that's an exciting prospect. I mean, you get to watch some interesting football here tonight. So I'm excited for that one.
I just surfed around during our top of the hour commercial break, and I was looking at tickets for today's Brewers game. There's a healthy supply available on the Brewers website. You don't even have to go to the secondary market.
Yes.
You can buy them right from the Brewers.
Then
some decent locations.
Some decent locations. I was doing the exact same thing. Tomorrow is one of the hottest tickets of the year with the Hank Aaron jersey giveaway. But today is as good of a matchup as you're possibly going to get. We got Mike Vasallo sending out Tale of the Tapes, Drew.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. Like, this is a heavyweight boxing match that we got.
Sale and of course the Miz. It's going to be great. And I almost did it. I was going to pimp Billy yesterday. I was at the game yesterday, and when I rolled home, I have I have a friend. It's good to know people. A friend slipped me one of the Henry Aaron jerseys, so I got it in advance. I know Billy's been excited about this, but I have the powder blue 44 in my possession.
I saw a certain friend of ours who might also be Halftime Entertainment. They got the super cool box got dropped off. I saw a little glimpse. That thing looks good. It looks sweet. And any way we can honor Hank is great.
We used to be on the list for those drops, but we've fallen off. We got to get back on that.
I was going to say, I don't know how we fell off that list. We got to get back in there.
Hey, if you're out there, Brewers, we do exist still. You can hook a boy
tell Leslie and Marty Ronsky that we need to be back in the list of,
but for
the A-list.
And especially for Hank Aaron, there's just too many groups of people in a full generation now that is not going to understand that pure greatness that he was. So anytime that they honor him, I'm going to be very excited about it. And I even dusted off the old Hank Aaron bobblehead that I had there. That was, I think, on the little wedge of cheese from back in the day.
Way back in the day.
Every once in a while, every couple of years, it feels like they'd fire out some kind of 44 celebration. And this 50th year celebration of his last home run, great way to do it.
Yeah,
you ever curl up with a sandwich and a drink and a good book and look up Hank Aaron's baseball reference? He had some nasty numbers. Now, we already know this. He's the best ever and all this stuff, but it is really crazy when you look at some of his stuff. And you're right. To appreciate his legend is something we have to keep passing along to our next generations because they're very important. True. And I want to say one more thing really quickly in advance of this because I know it's going to happen already. I remember this happening with the Giannis jersey giveaway, and I anticipate it's going to be another large crowd, large lines, large situation because everybody wants this jersey. Everybody, you're going to do better if you just understand the situation, stay patient in your line, and don't whine afterwards. I remember for like a week on the air, we were doing this afterwards with the Giannis giveaways. Everybody was whining about something. Oh, they didn't do it right.
This is the basketball jersey?
Yeah, it was just like people were complaining. I'm like, no, actually, they did what they had to do when you have 40,000 people all looking for the right item. Okay, so
and 25,000 in supply.
Yeah, so exactly. So everyone knows the rules. If that's what it is, get in line and actually, just don't complain all the time about something. I mean, people were just complaining no end when things actually went the way they were supposed to. So that was something that was really bothering me last time. And be kind to your fellow neighbors, play by the rules. And hey, what's fair is fair. If you get in line, great. If you didn't, so be it. And you have to understand that you didn't get in line and move on. So I already know people are going to start complaining and moaning after this one. I can already see it. So
did it happen with the dice cups last weekend?
Good question. I didn't hear any, but
I got to imagine.
I know people were into the dice cups. Yeah. So
you got to wait in line, and it's a 1:00 start, which is different.
Much different. Yes, it'll be an early attendance, early start on that.
Fair is fair. Everyone knows the rules.
Good tailgating day though.
Yeah, I would say.
I mean, from like that full-on day that you get the full tailgate in, that's pretty good start.
Pretty good. Today could be a good one too. I mean, depending on the weather. But
I was going to say, if this rain holds off, it's going to be a beautiful one in the mid-70s to be tailgating.
Yeah, it was a perfect day at the ballpark yesterday.
Well, it's also even better when you get that kind of run support right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, that place was hopping and happening right out of the gate.
As our beer metrics experts say, 78 degrees is the prime beer selling temperature. Any temperature is good to drink beer, but selling it, especially at Summerfest, 78.
Yeah, and
best.
I would wonder what those beer metrics do on the first base and third base side for a day like yesterday, because those are two completely different climates that you're watching that game in.
Oh, yeah.
But to then get kickstarted right out of the gates, we talked about it yesterday. You said it with Hunter, and it is about as important as possible. If you're going to the game today, we are talking about the tailgate. The weather's going to be great. But finish that last one a little early so you make sure that you're in there by the time Miz and Sale actually start executing their toil.
I would think.
Because if you want to see the radar gun really light up, that first inning is when it happens. The first 10 pitches, you can bet your bottom dollar at least 8 of them are going to be fastballs and at least 7 of them are going to be over 100 miles an hour because he's going to be laying it out there and letting them see it right out of the gate.
Yeah, this is going to be a special matchup, no question. One of those you might want to say one day, hey, guy, you know what I saw when I was a kid? I saw Miz Chris Sale. I saw that matchup.
Well, last year that was the that was the Skeens Mizorowski
Miz.
day game that we were doing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Armen and I did a 4-hour pregame show over the Potawatomi Sportsbook that
It was
day.
awesome. Yeah.
And it felt like a playoff game for people getting that excited about it
Really
on that
did.
early walk-up or that quick walk-up turnaround sellout they had.
And there's something about, in the doldrums of a regular season, there's something about a heightened excitement on a matchup like that. People getting jacked up. And people were ready for that one. Definitely, and they were really fired up for it. And I was, I think maybe because it's a Friday afternoon, you have the different start time. Maybe there's an aspect of that keeping the prices down. But hey, that's the opportunity for you to go out, get great seats at a good price for a ball game. Still the best deal going for Milwaukee, state of Wisconsin entertainment is a Brewers game. Go get your tickets and go see a great historic matchup, and hopefully another Brewers win against a team that you really need to win against because you're trying to get that first round bye. So. Let's get a good crowd going today. It'd be nice to see. I like that.
It'll be good. But there are tickets available if you're interested in going today.
Good ones, yeah.
Yeah. Keep them coming, 877-794-1973. You mentioned that we had some good, robust discussions on the both the YouTube comments and on the text line.
Big ones here. Bob and Baraboo firing us up right out of the gates. Morning. Happy Friday, men. Good win for the Crew. Robert Gasser just needed to throw some strikes. But great job by Murphy getting them the heck out of there. Bullpen was fantastic again. What's up with the past comment in the post game? Something about ants? Maybe I heard that wrong, but it was hilarious. Also, the Yankees scored 3 in the first inning yesterday, and play-by-play man Michael K was having himself a time in the press box, cracking me up. Go Brewers against the Braves. Great matchup again today. Stay safe with more storms coming through. We need to end with the storms coming through.
The storms are.
We need to get rid of the storms coming through, but hopefully it's an offensive storm as the Brewers roll through here against the Braves. The bullpen all weekend long, how underrated was that on? I mean, even on Wednesday night when you don't end up finishing the comeback, they allowed you 5 different chances to come back and win the game, and then they were just as good, if not better, yesterday. And the Mike Vasallo numbers we talked about with Trevor McGill, I guess I didn't realize this one either. Trevor McGill has now retired 30 of his last 31 batters. The only base runner coming on an intentional walk against Fernando Tatis in San Diego.
Yeah, he's been on. That's incredible. What a run he's been on. And kind of under the radar, I'd say.
Yeah.
You expect him.
You don't notice them when they do, when they're rolling, like setup guys and stuff. Uribe was going good. Like, you don't notice them until they fill their socks once.
Yeah, until there's one time.
And God forbid they do it twice in a week, then they suck and should be DFA'd despite a string of like 15 scoreless outings beforehand.
Well, in McGill, I mean, think about it. We talk about it in terms of the deadline, also in the offseason. I mean, his name was as prominently mentioned in trade rumors as any Brewer. It seemed like they continually were throwing his name out there. Sometimes it's the moves you don't make that end up being the best ones.
Yeah.
What does this bullpen look like if Trevor McGill's not anchoring it for the majority of the season?
Oh my God. We were talking about that with like our MVP conversation. McGill's under the radar for Brewers MVP.
Yeah, and I heard that conversation. It is so tough because it's hard to not go with Miz just because of the energy, excitement that he brings to this team.
And he affects games beyond when he starts. We talked about that because if you bank on him, go 7, the bullpen gets rested, sets you up for the next day. Like, I think it was it Mitchell, I think, or it was either Mitchell or Ashby. Like, the Brewers won the game yesterday because of the guys who pitched in relief the day before and sucked up the innings and kept the top guys fresh to do what they did yesterday.
Yeah, because Bryce Wilson went out there and ate for you.
Yeah,
again.
So you had Chad Patrick and Ashby ready to go, and that was,
And you don't have that unless you're just trying to fight and claw your way through. That's where, like, the designation of roles, the seems like the cleanest ones are in the bullpen. Hey, you're our keep us in it.
Yeah.
And you're our get us home guys.
No doubt.
And that buy-in is not probably the easiest thing, but when you shove like they did yesterday and on Wednesday, a lot easier to enjoy your role.
You see it when you'll have like 2 guys warming up. One guy's one of the tenderloin of the bullpen. The other guy's like, okay, give us an inning. And it's like, okay, well, wait, if we score here, we're going to bring in our good guy. And if we don't, then you're going in. You see that all the time.
It's so, and it's great when it works out in practice. It works out just in front of you like that. But when you have Bryce Wilson back and forth 3 different times, might get DFA'd again before the end of this thing and re-signed for another trip. But you get those guys to be able to save it. And Chad Patrick, he's now pitched more way more out of the bullpen than he did even as a starter, even in terms of innings this year.
And
he's been really, really good in both roles. That is not an easy thing to be able to just jump back to when I assume he's kind of been a starter his entire life. But he was good in relief last year in the playoffs. And you messed up and showed us that you can do that.
He was huge. Yep. He was one of the Brewers' best pitchers last year when they needed him the most. And he's been great in any role they ask him to be in. And he's been asked to do a lot of things. So, another great example. Ashby's been doing the job. I mean, guys have stepped in as they've done every year in this last few years of the stretch. We asked who's going to fill in for guys like Nick Mears, and we've had him come in. So
you were mostly the guy asking about Nick Mears.
Well, because
you were the president of the Nick Mears fan
to his
club.
credit, he was very important last year and had a big role. So,
this is an opportune time since we're talking about these bullpen guys. Who's hot, who's not? Brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, because Trevor McGill is clearly hot, but people might not be paying attention to him.
Yeah, people might not be paying attention to just how hot. It is 15 consecutive save chances that he has converted, tossed another perfect inning yesterday, and 30 of his last 31 hitters retired in order. Chad Patrick, how many earned runs has he given up in the last month? One run in 9 2/3 innings pitched in the month of August. Before that, a 2-run give up in a 16-3 L against the Giants where everybody got tagged. Otherwise, Chad Patrick has just been in there. But what about Aaron Ashby? We heard from him a little earlier in Hunter's recap. He got his 12th hold. We've talked mostly about his wins. Much maligned Aaron Ashby there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
There were people that were very frustrated. A lot of pitchforks out for Aaron Ashby. How many earned runs does Aaron Ashby given up Armen Sarian in the month of August?
I'm going to say 1. What is it?
1 too many. 0.
Wow.
10 1/3, 5 hits, no earnies. Now he has walked 5. That's walked
okay.
5. He's let guys on. That whip is definitely not going down necessarily. But the ERA is, because Aaron Ashby has been as good as it can be.
Your job, run prevention. Your run prevention's your job, not hit prevention.
Who's not hot? We mentioned Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, and that's a tough one for that man. I mean, it is. I enjoy the big dumper. I enjoy that. I enjoyed the cut of his jib a year ago. Loved the home run derby. That's a tough scene when all of a sudden you are just completely MIA.
Yep.
Also not hot. The Indiana Fever last night. Son of a gun blowing a 7-point lead in the second half. Come on. Who on earth is betting on the WNBA?
Oh boy, you might have a problem.
Idiots.
Who's hot, who's not? Bet on Donovan Jorgensen because they're the best locally. They've been at it, employee owned. They've been at it for 40 years. 4.7 star Google rating. Check them out. DonovanJorgensen.com is the website. When we come back, Dolph is going to drop by from the country station out in the hall. FM 106. Our halftime correspondent is with us talking all things. I have a Badgers discussion for you as well as they're getting close to firing up their season. Let's get it. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen huddled up on a Friday in the good land, having some fun. Smart, good-looking listeners. 800-990-3776. Get you to NicoletLaw.com talking text line. We're talking to Scott Dolphin, our halftime correspondent here, because we're halftime of the final show of the week. Good morning, Dolph.
Hey, happy Friday, fellas.
All right.
That is a happy Friday.
Absolutely.
I'm intrigued. Now, I'm looking at our video right now, and Billy, your box says you're Don. Down in the left-hand corner.
Yes.
Oh,
I
hey
am
now.
the Don.
The Don.
We
He is
haven't
the
changed.
Don.
We haven't changed.
Sorry, you
those
didn't come
names.
kiss the ring?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think those
pretty
names
disrespectful the day of my daughter's wedding, and you
More
don't
box?
come in here and celebrate. That's
Come
fine.
on.
Whatever.
Yeah,
That's fine.
been
Whatever.
there-
That's fine. Whatever.
I don't even change those names for a few years. Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Way to go, Armen.
You don't see it on the actual screen though for people watching with us on
Okay, cool.
YouTube, X, Facebook, and
Classic.
Got it.
All right,
maybe
Dolph.
that's why this guy was mad. I'll go ahead, Drew. Sorry.
I got a question for you because there's a story on JS Online about Badgers football season ticket sales. The Badgers sold 47,587 season tickets for 2026, according to data obtained by the Journal Sentinel open records request. That's down 13% from 54,780 last year. Now, that's as of August 19th, 3 weeks before the start of the season. And they started selling single game tickets and stuff. And I'm wondering, because there's been an erosion over recent years because of disappointing seasons.
Yeah.
For all the turmoil and the hubbub, has that ever happened at Iowa?
Oh, yeah.
Have they had the same kind of cycle?
Same
where
kind of thing
If
when-
they don't fire the guy's son, I'm getting out of here.
I think it was more when I think it's a matter of if you're good or bad. You know, most fans are fickle when it comes to buying season tickets. They're like, hey, I can spend my money someplace else and watch the Badgers on TV. At Iowa, it happened after Hayden Fry retired in the late 1990s. And Kirk Ferentz took over. They absolutely sucked. They won one game the first year and 3 the next. And I think they actually went to a bowl game in their third year. But it was dismal, and season ticket holders bolted.
They bailed.
They did.
So, and yeah, part of it is it used to be that, it wasn't that long ago that not every game was on TV.
Well, correct. And now not every game has a start time right now, right? Like that's one of the other,
That's
it's one of the
another great
tough
point.
things. And, Matt mentions it a lot, and it really is true. There's no sport that demands more from the in-stadium viewing audience than college football. A lot of it's the pageantry and the excitement, and you miss a lot of it if you're not there on television. But when you don't know the start of the game until 6 days before,
That's just it.
That's
Remember,
a hard
Billy?
thing to judge.
Up until a couple of years ago, they had to have it out the Monday or Tuesday the week before.
A week before, correct.
Now, you're right. Monday or Tuesday, you're trying to make plans with your life, and you don't even know when you're going to go to this game on Saturday.
The majority of the time when Drew and I are going up and playing when's Mike Heller going to say the first thing on Packers preview that we get to enjoy, it starts up again here tonight at 6. I would also be finding out the kick time of next week's Badger game at some point as you're driving up. And that is they've made so much money from the networks. I can't say it's a bad business model, but I do think that there are some real unintended consequences.
Right.
And that's also, what did you say, 13%? That might be 2%. The 11% is the fact that you won 4 games last year. And if you did go to either the Iowa or Ohio State game, that would be a tough site to then say, you know what we should do? Sign up for 6 more of these next year.
Yeah, great point.
So it's a cyclical thing, is what you're saying.
It is.
Nothing's constant, I know, but.
And who's on the schedule at home, too? Oftentimes people look at that and see who's coming into camp, Randall.
That's a good point.
What other sport can you not make plans for a start time before the season? I mean, there's really no other sport like that. Sometimes college basketball is changing times, I think. But other than that, NFL has times.
The system
unless
is,
they flex.
It's all about money. You look at
I
it.
get it, but it's just crazy.
Now you've got, what have you, who's all in this? NBC, Fox,
Fox,
CBS,
and CBS.
Yeah,
CBS,
right?
and streaming. You say now you got games on what?
Peacock.
On the
Well,
Cox.
I get it. Yeah. Yes. Pause. Yeah.
So that can be on Big Ten Network, FS1, Fox Sports, NBC, CBS, whatever. It's all over the
Well, and as you just hit it, you have 3 different groups that are all trying to line up which one they want.
And they have a draft, right?
They
They get choices.
Yes.
Is it each week?
Each week, and then I believe it rotates who has the first pick each time, right? Like, so I think if Big Noon Kickoff takes a Big Ten game, then they have to bump back into the rotation. Then NBC would get first dibs for their night game coming up at the end. But it's so in and out that I don't necessarily know how Kevin Warren weaved this very tangled web of contracts in the Big Ten.
Billions and billions of dollars is what it turned into for them.
But then he very quickly got a new job and then got up out of there. Right as they were all crescendoing, which was very, very well timed.
And now if you can only figure stadium issues out.
Yeah.
Where he is.
I'll tell you though, that hot Halloween night, Badgers and Hawkeyes.
There we go.
Is it Halloween night? Do we know that?
Not Halloween night, pardon me. It'll be no later than 4 p.m. kickoff.
Is that right?
That'll be a no later than 4 p.m. kickoff.
Halloween
so it could
Eve.
be in some time frame in there. But the folks in Kinnick are going to be live on that Saturday. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's good that it's before 4 in that sense, right? So the students won't be drinking since 10 a.m. until
I know, right?
I'm just thinking of like State Street and Water Street and what Saturday night Halloween.
Flooding right in after.
Yes.
Yes.
We've had that.
Is it what it used to be though? I know our Madison listening audience can tell us about State Street, like Freak Fest.
Nothing's like it used to be.
I also don't know that a lot of our Madison listening audience is going out on State Street, Armen.
Well, no, but
like I got bad. I don't know that a lot of the folks that are listening to us at 6:33 are the ones that are going out partying on State Street.
Well, not now, but in their heyday. Are you kidding me? In their heyday? I mean,
Right, they can tell you about what it used to look like. I don't know what they're telling you that it looks like right now.
Well, maybe they know how it's changed with their kids. I don't know. I'm just saying. I remember Freak Fest used to be like the wildest thing ever. They used to talk about going to State Street, Madison, at Halloween like it was like the craziest, scariest place ever. I can't imagine now. It's like the same.
Time.
I don't know.
Good time. Armen, you can still hang with that crowd.
Oh, are you kidding me? I could run it with them.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could fit right in with them. Yeah, for sure. I'd get out of there probably by 9 o'clock. Be like, all right, it's time for me to go home, guys.
Before the bouncers even.
Yeah. Right. I mean, exactly.
Oh, they're starting to card people. I better get out of here.
Yeah.
Before the bouncers start. Yeah,
So-
but that's wild.
While the season ticket base important to the revenue for the coffers to keep the engine running, to me the bigger thing is like the no-shows. Because
for
people
sure.
who turn down season tickets, you would think you play well, or if it's a big game, they'll come back to the fold and they'll buy a single game seat. But when the Badgers problem has been like the last 2
When
years,
you have a bunch and
has
then
been
people are just not
no-shows.
going, yeah.
That's
No
a
doubt.
problem. I mean, when that's your biggest revenue maker. Remember when the biggest issue used to be the students not being in their seats, and that was a bad look on TV when there was an extra point or a field goal.
Yeah.
There was nothing but empty bleachers, and that's the least of the problems now.
That's and that's kind of a self-inflicted own goal, right? Because of the process that they make it so clunky. It takes a long time to get them in.
That's a bad process.
But listen,
single file.
That's a topic of discussion every year for Badger fans, and it's going to be another one. That's always a topic of discussion.
And at Armen's institution of choice, those kids are lined up outside waiting to sprint in. We called it the running of the students.
Yeah.
Pamplano.
Yeah, because it's general admission. And so I was in those races, definitely, and it was kind of a funny thing.
I've been doing shows in the atrium. I remember at the old Bradley Center, especially, you do shows in the atrium, and then would open the gates and they would go sprinting by, and those kind of polished marble floors are a little slippery. Kids, it was like
going to say, you're going down in there, dude.
We saw
It
some
was
kids go
wild.
down, they're spinning their wheels like the cartoons.
It was
Funny.
crazy. It was something to watch. They would put a time lapse on it. The thing about it, really quick, was I don't think they're doing that last year. That's the problem. You got to keep winning to keep the interest. And last year was kind of a struggle. So
you guys may have talked about this. Speaking of Marquette, have you gotten your Alley Beers?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah,
Billy ordered it.
He was our current electric superhero of the day.
Dude, it's like now the top 5 nil jerseys are all football or men's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But she's number 7. 7th out of and just
Her
close.
teammates got to be
And
jealous.
hopefully closing in.
Her brother plays football
At Minnesota.
And then there's a tight end at Oklahoma, Rocky Beers. But what makes her so special is that it's a 6-pack.
Six, of course.
I was going to say it's the 6-pack that just makes it so much better. And if she starts hitting so she's an outside hitter. Is that what we talked about?
Yes.
She starts getting some kills.
Right.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
6 beers are going to be deleted in that student section very quickly.
And volleyball is big time, not only in the state, but across the country. The fact that she's from Slinger,
we were talking about
makes it
that.
even better.
Wisconsin girl, one of the few Wisconsin girls on the roster.
That was why I sent it on it, Dolph. Like when I realized that it was somebody in the state of Wisconsin, we're pumping that NIL check in there and trying to enjoy. Also, because I realized when I went to a Marquette game last year, I only had like 1 or 2 Marquette shirts. Now I have a 6 beers one. And as my kids age, I can explain why that's so funny every single time.
That's right.
That's going to be a built-in dad joke as I get older.
Perfect. I love that. Yeah.
That is
Got to
awesome.
get some of that Marquette gear going. Yeah. The prices keep going up at the So everyone's got a deal. No, you know what? No, they do. It's kind of funny. I was gonna say though about this. Man, now I blanked. Oh, I hate when this.
Because all you were thinking about is prices.
I know. Why did I do that? Okay, move on, guys. Move on. I wanted to get this in before we lost our chance. Yesterday was National Radio Day, and I wanted to honor Dolph with that. Congratulations.
Hi, baby Dolph.
Because, you know, we're all in radio. I feel like you are National Radio Day.
Stop
and
it.
So, what? Since 94, right? You've been on that.
I have.
On that stead?
I've been on, I've been in Milwaukee since 94.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
How many total years in radio?
40. 41.
Whoa.
I started in 1985 full time. Yeah. I was pulling down 14 large, doing overnights in Quad Cities, Rock Island.
Hey,
I just love it.
Rock Island, Illinois.
Yeah.
Stairway to Heaven whenever you needed a little break.
Oh, yeah. Well, the bad thing about the 80s is music was incredibly shorter overall, so you didn't get a lot of bathroom breaks. And we were part of an AM/FM television station. It was downtown building, so I had to go up a floor and towards the back of the building just to use the restroom. That was the poor design of that building.
Yeah, that's not positive.
Yeah, so you had to put on a long song. I was actually at a country station, and so I'd put on some old, long 4 or 5 minute song and then raced for the bathroom.
I immediately throw in the next 2 tapes.
Yeah, exactly. Carts.
Carts.
I've only been in this part of the industry half as long as Dolph, like 20 years for me. And I got to say, like national radio, I still feel like an outsider. Like I'm still like, it's not my day. It's for guys that are lifers like Dolph.
Yeah.
It's like, plus, even when I was working at the newspaper, it's like National Reporter Day. I don't know that I would celebrate
National
it.
Newspaper Day.
Little cheesy.
You guys didn't have a collage for National Newspaper Day?
We
standing
definitely
there getting quotes.
We definitely didn't have a cake or anything. Yeah. Yesterday. So
I didn't even know it was a thing until a couple of years ago. But I got it just sent me down a hole, and I started looking. The first radio station in Milwaukee was 1922, and then a couple of years later, WTMJ came along. But 22, I don't. The station is long gone. Whatever it was, I forget the call letters.
That's
no, I don't know if Doug worked.
I didn't
see. The thing is, I don't know if Doug worked for that one. No, the joke is because the only reason I remember this day is because Doug posted all the stations he worked for. So that's how I remember it every year. Doug Russell.
Yeah, that's true. I see other stations and on social media, other personalities doing it.
Personalities firing those things in there.
I did get a Facebook. The best thing about, probably the only good thing about Facebook is that it's an archive of your photos and stuff.
Good memories.
Oh yeah, kids 100%. Growing up, like this first day of school stuff. You're gonna flash back and see it, or birthdays and stuff.
Sadly, most of the radio stations I've worked for are gone. They're gone. The frequencies are still there. But
because you killed him. He dominated here for so long.
There you go.
I think I left, and then things went downhill. That's what I'm telling you.
That's an even better one. Yes.
My first station is a Spanish station now.
Okay.
And then
I love it.
One of my stations that was top 40 is I don't even know. They're all done. The one I worked at in Madison, which was country at the time, is now I think like 80s, something like that.
You know what? Formats change. I mean, that's the nature of radio. Time moves on. Time changes, right? We know that. So,
which says a lot about this town because a lot of the formats have not changed for decades.
I'm still kind of surprised that they didn't want Scott Dolphin doing the Spanish radio station.
I love it.
I don't get how that interview didn't play out very well.
They did a nice thing for us at that station. They announced to the staff that they were changing to Spanish format, but they gave us like 90 days to get the hell out of town.
Oh, that is nice. Wow. Okay. That's a lot nicer.
I love the Quad Cities. I'd probably still be there if they didn't boot me out because that was the first place I started. I enjoyed it. It was a nice sized town. It was 4 cities. Can you name the Quad Cities?
I know it's Moline.
Yes.
Dubuque?
No. Close.
Rock Island?
Rock Island, Moline, and then 2 on the Iowa side.
I thought Dubuque was one of them, so I don't know. Bettendorf.
And the team that beat Whitefish Bay in the Little League World.
Davenport?
That's the 4th place. That's the biggest.
I knew there was a D1, but I knew it wasn't Dubuque, and I was trying to put the name. I was trying to put it.
Dubuque's about an hour upstream on the Mississippi. Not too far away.
Now, how far is Cedar Rapids from that?
Cedar Rapids, not far at all. Also, so the town I grew up in, Cascade, was 20 minutes to Dubuque and 45 minutes to Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cedar Rapids, Iowa City is the same metro area.
A lot of good time to wander around out there,
dude. You got to get there.
You know what?
Other than Grinnell,
I'm gonna put it on my docket. I'm gonna go back to Iowa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
Really?
Listen, it can't be nearly as bad as Nebraska.
That's definitely
Thank
true.
you for that.
Still can't be nearly as bad as Nebraska.
Thank
really
you for
quick,
that.
Derek and Madison had a question for Dolph. Can we agree that Brent Musburger pronounced Hawkeyes as hot guys on purpose? Please ask Dolph.
Yeah. Hot guys.
Hot guys.
He did. Brett. National treasure.
Love it.
Uncle
Love
Brent,
it.
the
Oh my
absolute
goodness.
Brent.
Hall of
Jacob
Famer.
Whitewater. Have you ever noticed that most of the big towns in Iowa start with a D? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
Davenport,
haven't
Des
noticed
Moines.
that, Derek, but I guess
That's a good call.
I have not noticed that.
Didn't know that.
Haven't yet.
Ottumwa.
The more you know.
Ottumwa.
Ottumwa, there you go.
Another river town.
Yeah. Oh my
Close to it
goodness.
anyway.
Indian Hills Junior College.
Have yourself a great weekend. You going to watch any baseball?
I'll be there
this
today. You
afternoon?
got to see the
See
Miz
Miz.
versus Sale matchup, right?
Unbelievable.
When's your tailgate crew starting up? Because you guys are generally the first ones in the lot.
I'm going to Uber over. I'm going to be late joining them. They're probably going to be there by lunchtime. Yeah.
Giddy up.
That's what I'm
You'll catch up quickly.
Oh, I will.
Quickly.
Yeah, quickly.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dolph.
Have a good weekend, boys.
Yep, we'll do. All right. When we come back, we will have our current electric superhero of the day. Wayne Larrivee joins us at 7:25. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on a Friday, Drew, Billy, and Armen. Consider this a doubleheader of pregame shows, getting you ready for Brewers, Braves, Sale, and Miz. And then Broncos, Packers. Wayne Larrivee joins the program at about 7:25-ish. Time for our Current Electric Superhero of the Day, brought to us by our friends at Current Electric. Call current.com.
Now, I would like to say that it should be Doug Russell for letting us all know that it was National Radio Day, and that list is pretty impressive. That is a robust list of times and places that our friend Doug Russell, the Love Muscle, has worked at. But Drew, that is not going to be the case, and instead, it's going to be a little bit of a different Current Electric Superhero of the Day, because he was a superhero for the team he doesn't play for. Yesterday, a very, very tough moment for the Cincinnati Reds happened when center fielder Dane Myers, formerly of center field fame, crashing into the outfield wall at American Family Field and what looked like breaking his collarbone, out playing for the Reds yesterday against the St. Louis Cardinals in a 5-4 ninth inning. Ball flies straight away center field. Looks like the Reds are going to close in on a victory with 2 outs in the top of the ninth inning, and Myers dropped the ball.
Oh, that is tough. When you have that victory in your hands.
With the left fielder, J.J. Plate, right next to him, watching the ball bounce right off and clank off the glove. Try to catch it with one hand, kids. 2 hands always better. Bounces off 2-run score. The Cardinals take a 6-5 lead. Well, you think their story ends there. No, because then Alec Burleson singled in a couple. Baez walked to score another run. Then Fermin came up, ripped another single, scoring 2 more. And it ended a 10-5 Cardinals lead. But it was not over yet as the Reds continue to fight back and claw. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs and the lead run, the winning run at first base. And then we're unable to get home. So Dane Myers, our superhero of the day for St. Louis Cardinal fans yesterday. The Cardinals thought they were done. They thought they were completely out of this thing. And then all of a sudden they walked into the most entertaining ninth inning you possibly could have. We were going to get robbed, Drew, of a 10-run ninth inning. Dane Myers said, not so fast, my friends. Let me dump this thing into left field and keep this thing going. 6 runs for the Cards, 4 for the Reds, and the most entertaining inning of baseball that would not have happened if Dane Myers had just used 2.
Imagine having the under.
Myers was calling for that ball too, and it was TJ Friedel.
Friedel, yes, they had moved Guede over.
Okay. He had slid in, and he was clearly fighting the sun and wasn't in the best position. And then he slides over and misses it. Now, here's an old guy reference for people who remember a historic game at County Stadium. Maybe Armen will recall this.
That's just what I hope you're going to say.
Brant Brown.
5 Cubs, bottom of the ninth. 2 down. The Brewers have the bases loaded and a 2-2 count on the hitter. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fly ball left field. Brant Brown going back. Brant Brown drops the ball. He drops the ball. 3 runs will score, and the Brewers have beaten the Cubs.
I had to get Pat Ron's call.
He clanked that sucker on a Burnett play. Oh no! One of the great
Santo just loses his mind.
Oh my god! And the Cubs were in the pennant race at the time. The Brewers were not going anywhere, but the Cubs were driving for a pennant race.
Well, that was 98, right? That was the Saucier, and then they did end up getting the wild card, but they were right in the mix for a wild card.
They did, but they're right in the mix for a wild card, and it was a potentially crushing.
So this is when we took this thing national.
That was
it. 98. That was taking this thing
That's
national. Right. Okay, that's awesome.
We don't have time for the TV. I had to get the radio call.
The radio call was
had that holstered up. That's phenomenal.
I was on the same wavelength. When I saw that drop ball, I was thinking Brant Brown. I was ready for that. One of the great moments in Brewer Cubs history.
He's actually he's a coach now.
What was the deal? He lost in the sun. That was not that difficult of a fly ball.
Got good teach tape. What not to do.
He's the hitting coach for the Cardinals.
Wow. How about it? Now it comes full circle.
Not the fielding coach, the hitting coach.
Coach.
How about that, though? Yeah, you think he had to tell hey, it happened to me.
God.
All right.
That was epic. Brewers and Cubs had some epic barn burner games in the late 90s and early 2000s.
It was the spark of a great rivalry.
It was like it'd be 10-4 at Wrigley in the 5th inning, and then all of a sudden it's 15-14.
And it was just getting started.
Yeah. All right. Wayne Larrivee joins us soon. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. It was a mirror image of the Brewers-Mariners game from the night before. This time it was Milwaukee getting off to the hot start and then hanging on as Seattle mounted a comeback. A little insurance late was welcomed.
And that one's in the air to center field pretty deep. Rodriguez going back. He's at the wall. And she is gone. Garrett Mitchell backspins one off the batter's eye.
That could have been the backbreaker right there.
Ryan Anderson on the play-by-play. Mitchell drove in 3 runs overall. After the game, he and his wife Haley announced they're expecting their first child together, a girl, sometime early next year, so congratulations to them. The Brewers beat the Mariners 7-4. They take the series 2-1. Milwaukee now welcomes in Atlanta for 3 starting this afternoon just after 3. Meanwhile, coming up tonight, it's preseason game number 2 for the Packers at Denver against the Broncos. Kickoff is set for 8 o'clock. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you. You need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy y'all do. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
Armen,
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
2-2. Jenkins with a quality at bat here. Back ready. Here it comes. Line drive, deep toward left. Brown back, still going at the edge of the track. Has dropped it. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, no. 2-run score.
It's a tie game. They go ahead, they win the game.
The run scored, and the Milwaukee Brewers have won it. I don't believe it. The ball was in his glove. He dropped it, and the winning run came home to score. Oh, no, in Milwaukee.
Oh, no. The TV copy, Steve Stone and Chip Carey from, was it 98? Brant Brown dropping the ball. It's an homage to what happened with the Reds yesterday. Their center fielder, Dane Myers, right?
Dane Myers clanks it right up off the left-handed glove.
And we were flashing back to a glorious afternoon when Brant Brown dropped the ball at County Stadium.
I have not been able to find Euchre's call, and that's the white whale. I mean, I'm sure Bob's call was great.
So that was off the bat of Burnett's?
Burnett's hit
Jenkins hit it. Jenkins.
Jenkins. Burnett scored. Cirillo was on base too.
It was a bases loaded.
Bases loaded. Yeah. And yeah, how about Stoney dropping the ball there? Oh, it's tied. Oh, wait, they won.
I was going to say, oh, wait, they won.
On it. It's just, it was so unfathomable.
What was actually crazy about it is Brant Brown had 2 hands on it, and he almost caught out with his bare hands. And so he must have just missed the track or something to feel the need to bring a second hand down and try and cradle it. And it was just the sun or something, because it was at County Stadium there.
What a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing, yeah.
It was.
And just think,
absolutely epic.
If it wasn't for Dane Myers, we would have never been able to get Armen Sarian to dust off that part of the of the YouTube data bank. Because I mean,
That's
I
right.
know on the search engine you've had that one queued up at some point.
So there are some that autofill because of me.
Yeah.
Autofill.
That would easily autofill, I can imagine, after a couple of letters.
All it is BRA, Brant Brown drop fly ball.
The Santo one, though, oh no. It's just like he was famous for stepping on Pat's calls and like just being reacting like a fan. But that one, I don't know, even in the throes of it, of the Bears archives, if they've had like anything like that, that just anything that warms the cockles of a Wisconsin fan,
Yeah.
like that call does of Santo, just oh no.
Yeah,
Give us that again, Armin. We got to hear him on.
Let's get that.
Brent Brown drops the ball. He drops the ball. 3 runs will score. Fly ball left field. Brent Brown going back. Brent Brown drops the ball. He drops the ball.
I mean, it's
going
Paul
back.
Allen just
Brent
off the mic.
Brown drops the ball. He drops
Exactly, Billy.
I mean, that is as clean of a no as PA gives in New Orleans back in 2009.
Which is a lot of
Or Arizona, pardon me.
Fans, he reflected exactly what the fans did and the fans felt and said, probably. That's why Cubs fans love Ron. It makes sense, that they want their emotions validated and reflected, but you're right. That was as purely organic of a reaction. Oh no.
Did he sell during the Bartman play? I guess I couldn't know. I don't know. Like, could you imagine listening to the 27-minute, what is that, the top of the 8th inning of the Bartman game, where the Cubs are just collapsing after it and hearing Santo throughout the entire thing? I mean, that would just be about as beautiful rocket fuel for a Brewers fan as you could get.
I covered the Bartman game.
I was gonna say, because you were there.
I was at the Bartman game and I was at the Jeffrey Mayer game. The Jeffrey Mayer game in New York when he reached the Jeter home run.
Yes.
12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And then we went out in the stands and interviewed Jeffrey Mayer, and he was already a celebrity. Kid's 12, and people wanted to buy him beers.
Oh, the bleacher ball, and he was in the bleachers.
Kid in the bleachers. He was on like the Today Show.
Guy,
He ended up going on to play college baseball, I think, because somebody did what happened to. And Bartman, we were thinking let's go talk to that guy. And I was like, me and like Bob Nightingale and some other people. And then it was like, we saw security whisking him away for his own safety. And well, I guess we're not going to get to talk to the guy.
Guess we're not going to get a quote. Damn.
He may have been the Bartman game. He may have been like the first guy kind of doxxed.
Oh, I would agree. Yes.
The public square.
Or attempted to be. I mean, they tried to find everything about him.
But
he
had that was in the nascent days of the internet. And he was kind of like the first guy to get doxxed was Bartman.
Well, he was all over. I mean, I just remember him being all over ESPN the next day. The ISO shot of him sitting there was the.
He's just a regular schlubby fan who loved it and like coached baseball
and the best thing is the absolute best one is they had to go back and play the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like they had to go back and play the next day.
And
did they have Kerry Wood on the mound the next day? Like they had every chance to still win it and then had no shot.
It's a little bit of
and he homered too.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Brandon Bosticky because that was one of the things. That was one of 10 things that went wrong. And I don't know how close was Moises Alou to catching it really, and it's like
one drop on that finger.
In the 30 for 30, he admitted he probably couldn't have got it. They interviewed him, and you're right. It was an 8-run inning. Gonzalez had the error at short.
That's
really
the worst
play.
One. Would he actually have caught it? Probably not. So all these things. Yeah, I mean that's the reality. They had to play the next day. They had Pryor and Wood set up for 6 and 7. You had to win one of those two. Game 7, Wood hit a home run, but he still gave up some runs, and then they lost late. It was. I remember that one. Everyone thinking like that could have saved their series and their memory, and that wouldn't have been And then that was a banger of a Halloween costume that year. Steve Bartman turtleneck.
Oh, that was a good one.
The big radio headphone thing that people used to wear. Those radio headphones. That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, the Walkman headphones do give it a different kind of.
Those
allure.
were cool things back. I mean, back in the day in the late 90s to have.
You had to hear the broadcast.
Everyone, you could have a headphone radio. It was like all in one, so it was like a great. Guys on their lawnmowers had those all over the place. I remember that. So
the one with the signal though on the Walkman was always
that's
the best.
it. Yeah,
whether you had the radio that you'd attach to, but when you could just tune it in on the ear, oh, so good.
Yeah,
you're right. That was a lawn mowing dream.
Everyone had that one. Yeah.
Now it's funny because I don't know if that audio highlight gives you more pleasure, I think, than game 163 or game 5 last year. It's like for something about it, like the Brewers weren't good that year, or they weren't.
No.
And the Cubs were driving for the playoffs. There's just something about that makes it sweeter.
Well, in my lifetime, the 3 sweetest Brewers victories have all come at the expense of the Cubs.
Really?
Game 5 of the NLDS this past year, game 163, and then
CC?
2008 CC.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like those 3 games have really been like the best ones that I can think of.
You gotta find room in there for Niger Morgan against the Diamondbacks.
That's true. The only thing that is tough for me on that one is, and I bring it to tonight because it's the start of high school football, I was playing a high school football game on that Friday night.
There you go.
So I didn't actually see that. I have not seen that game in its entirety until sadly Bob passed away last year, and somebody put in sync his radio call to the entire game, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be an educational time. This is going to be one to be able to sit back.
That game was a roller coaster, and then
it was as crazy as possible as they're giving updates throughout the game while we're playing and trying to keep track of what on earth was happening.
You see a guy puke away a save that hadn't puked away a save
all year.
It's like, oh God. Yeah, it did seem preordained that they were going to lose that one. It was going to be horrific, and then Nigel Morgan tickled it.
It was about to be the worst gut punch of all time.
What a classic. Hey, I was going to hit you with a stat of the day. We got Wayne Larrivee. We'll be talking Packers, and we will shift gears very quickly. But the stat of the day, and we're talking about contracts and deferred money, and why can't the Brewers ever sign guys? And they can, they're always window shopping, and the big free agents never sign in Milwaukee. Yet another cautionary tale from the guy that boasts under the Nats blog.
Ooh, okay, let me hear it.
When first of all, you have to remember that the Nationals did win a World Series.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of beat a certain team to get there too.
Unfortunately,
they won that series in 19, and they
year.
haven't done much and been very relevant since. But they did win their series
they
7 years ago.
They haven't done anything since. That's what fans want, right?
But in the wake of that series, they signed and they wrapped up Anthony Rendon and Steven Strasburg. They gave them both 7 years, $245 million deals. Those deals expire this year.
Finally.
And in the end,
now they're going to be out of excuses.
Rendon and Rendon's with the Angels.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been for a while.
He's been shut down. Like he's operation shutdown. But Rendon and Strasburg, since they signed those deals, will have combined to miss out of a possible 2,064 games. They will have combined to miss 1,799.
Yeah. Jeez.
So
are people going to talk about the Bucks like that?
$490 million went to two guys who played in 12% of the games over 7 years.
My God. Wow. And one that you don't win the World Series without. Like Strasburg was so good.
They had to.
And he was also he was a former number 1 overall pick, right? They drafted him right after Harper or right before Harper.
Boris got
And that was like as
there was a year that they could have maybe flirted with him and they shut him down to protect him, kind of like with the Miz thing.
Yes.
And Strasburg's had a decent career. Rendon, not so much. After a great start, Rendon just fell off the cliff. But that is instructive to me because, oh my God, those guys each making $245 million.
And what were they supposed to do? Not pay at least Strasburg after that World Series?
Strasburg, you couldn't after. Was he World Series MVP?
Could have been.
I think he might have been.
I think he might have been the World Series MVP of that.
He retired after 2022.
Yes. And he was
injuries.
He was one of the first of the real flamethrowers that I can remember coming up, like where he was on Sports Illustrated for kids, by the way. He was on the kids version, if I remember correctly. Him and Harper as the 2 number 1 overall picks were like as cool of a duo as you could get. They couldn't sign Bryce Harper though to that contract.
He was MVP. They couldn't, right?
They couldn't afford Bryce Harper the year before. They could not afford Bryce Harper to be able to stay. Instead, they had to spend the money on those 2 cats. That's a wild one to be able to have. The amount of games that he missed and the years that Strasburg was done was tragic to where they ran.
When he first came up, though, you're right. The flame throwing, that 4-seamer. But when he first came up, the breaking balls.
San Diego State, I want to say.
It looked like fake. It looked fake on television. Seeing the breaking balls, the way they would just dive and break. I'm like, is this a wiffle ball this guy's throwing? I'll never forget seeing that and be like, this doesn't look real. The way this ball is breaking, like it just was so crazy how talented he was. It's almost like when you look at the old footage of Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game, the way his ball was diving around. Oh my God, it looks like a wiffle ball. Crazy stuff. So
Strasburg and the Nationals reached a settlement, but he still got all the money. They just like deferred the payment.
I like that. I like that kind.
All the cash.
I like that kind of settlement.
In fact, he's making $26.6 million a year. In 27 next year, 28 and 29 plus interest.
Okay, so
they just kicked it down the road.
So are you going to go out on a limb, Drew, and say he's the highest paid assistant college baseball coach? And
I would say he is definitely up there
because he's now currently an assistant at his old San Diego State stomping grounds.
Yeah.
The assistant coach at his alma mater, he's like, "Hey guys, guess what? You don't even have to pay me.
Yeah,
you can just put mine into a donation, maybe for the NIL, and just write that thing off for me."
I know, right? It's hilarious.
That's awesome stuff. Good for him.
Yeah. Well, everyone's going to expect him to pick up the check all the time, though.
So, if indeed the Nationals were in that one and done category as well, we think of the Cubs in that same vein, right? Like of all the guys that they had in 16, people thought they were going to rattle off 3 or 4 different titles,
especially because they were supposed to win more. That was the other thing. Yeah. I mean, Nationals, you might have thought, well, this might be their shot, but the Cubs were supposed to be a dynasty.
And one of the teams that was as good as any in that run, in that late 2010s, early 2020s, is Boston Red Sox. And they won one, and they tore that entire sucker down because of some other problems that came into the equation. But they had to close that shop up real quick, and that team is completely flipped around. It's been one and done basically outside of the Dodgers and the Astros cheating their way to a couple.
Pretty much. Remember when Cubs fans were just losing it because they didn't keep Chris Bryant?
Yeah.
Might have been a good one.
I mean, he was
7 years, $182 million in Colorado. Guaranteed.
And somehow his ended up being worse than Baez. Because, I mean, Baez at one point was statistically the worst player in all of baseball.
That's right.
Then he had a renaissance, ended up making a all-star game, if I'm not mistaken, there.
He had a blip.
Yeah, right. He all of a sudden resurged and had one good year.
Yeah. The Tigers got very little for their $140 million for him.
I mean, when you come up like Chris did those first couple of years, you're rookie of the year, then you're MVP, you win the World Series, you kind of think this guy's going to be one of the best players ever. And then it just stopped. I mean, it's just so crazy how that happened, but you're right.
Well, it's funny because you look right now at Miz and everything's, you can say what you want about the free agents and stuff. The Brewers, what is it? He's like performing 300 times his contract.
At least, yeah. That sounds right. Yep.
But things can change.
He's pitching like a 35, 40, $50 million a year pitcher right now.
And it would be tough to say like, well, they need to go and sign him. How can you not sign him? Well, if you're the team and you're a business, that's kind of why you make business transactions, is to get the good end of the deal. And you can see different teams being able to do it. But like Chase Burns is a really, really great pitcher. He signed a 7-year, I think $100 million deal to buy out a bunch of the arbitration there in Cincinnati. He's no Jacob Mizrowski. Right. Like, and then if you have to commit another 30 million or 40 million to get something across the finish line, you enjoy it while it's here. Enjoy it while it lasts, because he is.
Yeah. Miz is making less than $1 million and pitching like a $50 million guy. So.
And in 1 year, he's already breaking the Freddie Peralta greatest value the Brewers ever got.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no doubt. That 5-year, $15 million deal could not have been better for the crew. And just the value in 1 year you're getting from Miz is hard to top.
It is wild, right? It's just.
So they did a number of different things in the last CBA to try and like compensate these guys again. Because if Miz wins the Cy Young, he'll get a massive bonus, I believe, from like a player's pool.
I think so.
That would come through, and it messes with his Super 2 values and all that kind of stuff. Or is that only rookie of the year? Because all that stuff might end up going away.
Yeah.
In the next CBA.
Well, since he's pre-arbitration, he's gonna, if he wins a Cy Young, he gets like $2.5 million.
Okay, so he does get that.
He'll get that on top.
Bonus on top.
Yeah.
But does it change where his?
That's where the bonus is for those guys. But I don't know that it changes where his service time would be.
Okay, because that I believe is just rookie year thing.
And you get it. Like even if you finish 5th in the balloting, you get $1 million.
I love that.
If you're pre-arbitration.
Okay, let's go. Come on, Miz.
Yeah.
Well, it should be
every start
like
he's smiling.
Yeah, it should be like that. You should be able to earn that. I mean, that's fair, I think.
I mean, if Shedeur Sanders is getting $12 million merchandising check from the NFLPA, I think they can break something off for 32.
If someone's still paying James Harden $97 million to get beat off the dribble.
Thanks for dropping that one in there. $97 million?
Come on, bro. I don't know what kind of talent. The best talent James Harden's always had. It's not his scoring. It's not his ability to get to the line. It's his ability to convince people to pay him that much money. I mean,
just imagine you thought you were going to get LeBron for the minimum, and then you got James Harden for 3 more years at 30 plus a year.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm not taking a pay cut. You can pay me this.
You can pay me more, actually.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I thought finally his value would be like, all right, the market's going to set on him. People know he's kind of like, kind of cooked on defense these days and can still provide role player scoring. No. You know what? Let's just roll up $3,097,000. I'm like, I saw that yesterday. I'm like, what's going on? What is this? But hey, I mean, I guess when you need
there's also a trade kicker, so we can make some more cash there at the end.
Well, they traded for Peyton Watt. They got to go all in. That's what the
currently
Cavs are saying.
2 players in NBA history have eclipsed the $500 million mark in career earnings.
Oh my!
LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and James Harden.
That's the thing. James Harden's in there.
The closest one to the next group, and he will hit that. after completing this deal.
Be hard if you're around and be like, you have nothing to complain about ever, so just don't do it. Like, you know what
Now,
I mean?
how much of that money has been recycled into the economy via dental hygienist celebration?
Dental hygienist.
A
going back to
lot.
School.
I mean, there's been a lot of programs that he's been able to fund if he's got his jersey hanging in a couple of different clubs.
And going back to school and, trying to get
I'm going to try to finish up my master's here.
Yep, stuff like that. Hey, man, listen, he achieved the American dream. It's just that's
it's someone's
impressive.
American dream. You're right.
It's admirable. It's more impressive to see that he convinced them to pay him that much. But I guess the Cavs feel like they got to go all in, right? I mean, hey, we can trade for Peyton Watson.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not go all in? According to shot metrics, you almost won the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
That's right. I mean,
remember, they're still up 3-1 in theory in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes, shot metric title.
So you
Make
might
the
as well
shirts.
double down and try it again.
Well, they're trying, that's for sure.
Trying. All right, you can reach us 877-794-1973. We're entering the home stretch of the Friday edition of the Huddle. But we finished strong on this show.
Oh, especially on a
when
game
we
day.
come back, it's game day, Packers and Broncos. We are going to catch up with our pal, the voice of the Packers, the legend himself, Wayne Larrivee, joins us next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Friday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, Armen bringing it to you. Special guest on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. The voice of the Green Bay Packers. Local legend and friend of the program, Wayne Larrivee, joins us. Wayne, thanks for getting up early with us. How was the trip to Denver?
Oh, it's fine. Uneventful. Yeah, good flight out here, and it's warm. But it's a dry heat out here, so a little different than home.
What's longer, the flight from Green Bay to Denver, or the drive from the Denver International Airport to downtown Denver?
That's a great question.
Yeah, well, it's amazing because we had a police escort, and it still took us 40 minutes to get into downtown from the airport, and that was with a police escort.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's amazing. But Denver's a great town, and it's just grown so exponentially over the last 40 years. But I will say this, it's the first time in some 40 years that I've come into Denver and not seen a bunch of cranes downtown, building new high rises. So maybe it's all built out. I don't know, but it's a great town.
Yeah, you're right, Wayne, because I don't know a lot of people that are from Denver. I know a lot of people that live in Denver. I know a lot of people that moved to Denver, just like Nashville. I know a lot of people that are moving to Nashville because it's about as cool a place to go. And it still seems like a rather robust ticket. People wanting to get out there. And this is a game tonight that if there's a preseason game to enjoy, especially early, seems like we're going to get some starters on both sides, as Sean Payton wanted to ease in Bo Nix, and now expecting to see some Jordan Love and Packers starters early on. Makes for maybe a better night than the 27-2 preseason game that you guys had to cap off almost a week there a couple of years ago with the joint practice.
Oh gosh, yeah. That was a rough one, even for a preseason game. But no, this should be interesting because you're exactly right, Billy. I mean, the starters are expected to play. Denver's probably going to play their starters through the, and I would imagine the same for the Packers. It depends on how it goes. I mean, last week Jordan Love had a 10-play drive. If he's out there for another 10-play drive, it might be the only drive he commands. But nonetheless, I think you're going to see more starters, and they're going to play. There's even a possibility. I guess he's kind of. Well, internally, he's listed as questionable for this game, but Zach Baco-Biwele, the right tackle, could get a little action tonight. That would be nice to see. And so they're starting to get healthier. At least that was the case in camp this week. Starting to see some of those people that they're going to count on get back into action, and that would be great to see.
Wayne Larrivee joining us live from Denver. Packers and the Broncos tonight, preseason game 2 for the Packers. Of course, Billy and I will be doing Packers OT following Wayne and Larry on the call of the game. Going to be a late night for us, Wayne, because of this 8:00 kick in Wisconsin is a little bit different. That's about as late as we can have an NFL game start, I think.
Yeah, 9:00 Eastern time. Yeah, really. It's a little bit late, but out here 7:00, so not so bad. But nonetheless, I understand Midwest people will be up a little later.
Yep, no eye on team. Media starts with me. So Wayne, we're going to be watching the offensive line as we have been, and the cornerback competition. I don't know, is Carrington Valentine healthy enough to play after the hamstring thing? Will we get to evaluate him tonight, you think?
Yeah, no. He's going to be held out for another week. I think he's probably slated to hit the field maybe next week against Arizona. Possibly. Let me put it that way. But from what I understand now, he's not going to play in this ball game, and so neither will Jaden Reed. And there's no injury designation there. But there's a couple of guys being held out. Javon Bullard made the trip, but won't play in this ball game. He's been rehabbing and coming back, and he should be back by the opener. There's no question about that. But those are just a couple of guys who probably won't play. But Drew, you're right. I mean, they're still putting together the offensive line, and they have an ongoing competition at cornerback. So those are a couple of big key pieces that have to be taken care of between now and the start of the regular season.
Well, and I would also be interested, Wayne, with Aaron Banks, because while we've been doing training camp live, and we got 2 more coming up Monday and Wednesday, and then camp from the public perspective of practice is over, the competition at guard is kind of ratcheted up now that Aaron Banks is into team drills, because Jagger Burton has played so well, and Jacob Monk seems to be really taking a leap into year number 3. I'd be interested to see if we can get some game reps there, because it does feel like it's as healthy of a competition with those 3 guys for 2 spots And it is also undervalued that Sean Ryan and Jordan Morgan, they probably want to build some continuity and have that guy play alongside the person that's going to be starting with them at some point when the games start counting. No?
Yeah, and Drew, we're not going to see Banks tonight, from what I understand. They did ease him back into some of the drills, as you mentioned, some of the team action. But he and Darian Kennard suffered an injury last week. Both are going to be held out of tonight's game, and so and we won't see Tucker Kraft. He's looks ready to go, but they're going to hold him out of this game. And I don't think, to be honest with you, Tucker will play in the preseason. And then Luke Musgrave, still on the comeback trail from his neck issue, so he won't play in the ball game. But you're right. I think at some point you want to get a look at these guys. They know what Banks can do. I think they're trying to see, can they keep him healthy enough? And he's another guy that with knee tendonitis, and you guys know about that, in that it's kind of like a back injury. It never really goes away. It's always there. It's a matter of, is it bad one day, worse than the yesterday, or whatever, that kind of thing. So I think they're trying to be careful with Banks and see if they can kind of nurse him into this regular season.
The camp crush this year, we always get camp crushes on guys who make plays at Ray Nitschke Field, and you kind of cheer for them and stuff. If the Packers were on Hard Knocks, the camp crush, I think the star would be J. Michael Sturdivant. Does he have a chance?
Yeah.
What has he shown you, Wayne?
Yeah, he has a chance. There's no doubt. He can return kicks too, and he makes a play every day, it seems like. They really like him. They like Isaiah Nair. Obviously Will Shepherd has been around on this team last year, now this year. Those are three guys going for one spot, I think. And that's if they keep 7 receivers on this team. Because you've got Sky Moore and you've got Bo Melton, both of whom are key special teams guys. And I think they make the team. And so if they do they keep one of these young receivers that they really like? From the standpoint of length, these guys are, over 6'3", speed, catch radius. These are guys that are made for playing football in Green Bay in November and December. Big guys who won't be slowed by the conditions. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But I still think right now you're exactly right. The camp darling would have to be J. Mike.
And one guy that we've watched play very, very well throughout camp and jumped off the page in the 3 plays that he ended up playing in the first preseason game, a little bit not positive about his availability tonight. But Wayne, Lucas Van Ness is the one guy that I get asked about by every single person that talks about the Packers or wants to come up and ask you a question about the Packers. What does Van Ness look like? How much do they need Van Ness to jump off the page? He's done it so far, but I'm looking at a couple of those other edge rushers where I think it really opens up. Now, Denai Dennis Sutton coming off of the heat-related illness. Hopefully he's back to full strength coming up soon as he returned to practice. But Brenton Cox, you look at Barron Sorrell, Colin Oliver, those 3 guys are going to get a lot of reps, I would assume, tonight, and maybe start seeing some separation as to who's going to get reps during the regular season and who might be playing their way to stay off the practice squad and be active for some games.
Yeah, Brenton Cox is the guy who's kind of stood out to me, both in the drills. And Colin Oliver has flashed. The thing you wonder about Oliver can he be more than a situational rusher? And due to his size, I'm not sure he can be, Billy. He's barely 240 or thereabouts, and they like their edge rushers a little better than that, a little bigger than that, I should say. But he's certainly an intriguing young prospect. Brenton Cox has been around. He's healthy. And this is a guy I think can really play a role on this football team. And it'll be interesting to see, like you said, with the young player, Denai Dennis Sutton, just coming back from injury. Don't expect to see a whole lot of him, if at all, tonight. But anyway, these guys I've mentioned that might be out tonight, this is a projection based on kind of what we've seen over the past week and the way they handle their guys coming back from injury. So they may or may not play, but from what I can tell, you're going to see Brenton Cox. And from what I understand, Lucas Van Ness is ready to play as well.
Javon Hargrave returned to practice. He's one of those guys that probably doesn't need a lot of preseason play. And Zaire Franklin, those are names we're going to hear a lot when the real games start, right, Wayne? I expected quiet camps from those 2 guys, although we're hearing about Franklin's attitude, zest for it, and leadership. But I didn't expect to hear a lot about from those guys in the preseason. We kind of haven't.
No, and Zaire Franklin is certainly, you've seen it on the practice field, maybe more so than the game. the impact he's having there as just a leader on this football team. And then Javon Hargrave, it was good to see him get back into the drills this week because that's a step in the right direction. Does he need a lot of preseason? I don't think coaches feel that way, but they want him ramped up and ready to go for the opener, and I think that's where he's trending.
All right, Wayne, the pressure cooker last week, it was like trying to make a $10 putt when you only got $5 in your pocket for Trey Smack walking out at Acrisure Stadium. Now he comes out here in the Mile Get High City. It'll be a very, very fun day, maybe a little bit of fog later on there into the night, a little haze. But what's the expectation, excitement? Has it loosened up, you think, the pressure cooker on Trey, or is that, vice grip around the neck just waiting to clamp down if one of these things goes wide right tonight?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The life of a kicker, Billy, is, sure, the pressure might relax a little bit, but your next miss ratchets it up right away, so, especially with a rookie. So, no, I think Trey's in a good place. He seems to be. No one was in camp this week was too concerned at all, about his mindset. He seems to be in a really good place. I talked to them a little bit in the locker room the other day, and I think he's got that approach that while people around him may be going ballistic, he's pretty calm. He seems like a pretty calm shooter. Reminds me a lot of a pro golfer, who might hit a shank in one shot, and then within 20 seconds has forgotten that he even hit that shot and hits a pure as a shot on the next swing. So that's the mentality you need to have as a kicker in this league. And from what I've seen, the evidence is he has that ability.
On the way out here, Wayne, Billy had an important question. He wants to know whether you prefer skiing in the Rocky Mountains or in Utah.
How do these line up, Wayne? Because I know you're a big Park City guy. I don't know if Denver's reaching that kind of levels, but how are the mountains looking here today in the middle of August?
Yeah, the mountains look great, but there's no snow on them. That's for sure. It's been a heat wave out west. I was with some friends last night. It's just been a long, hot summer in the entire West. And, the Colorado River is kind of, it's taking a toll on the Colorado River. Lake Mead is down to 23%. The ecosystem of the West is in a lot of trouble. But as far as skiing goes, the reason we ski Park City, when you fly into Salt Lake City, you're 40 minutes from the terminal to the lift line. When you fly into Denver, you're a good 2 hours from where you're going to ski.
That's right.
Amen to that. No doubt.
Get Wayne right on the top of the mountain as soon as possible.
That is ruthless efficiency.
Did I see the high is 97 in Denver today? That is crazy work. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
It should be cooler by game time, but man.
Yeah, it was beautiful here last night. I mean, just really nice. So, but it's warm. Denver is the climate in Denver. People don't realize it's gorgeous most of the year.
Yeah, it's hard to find bad days there in Denver, Colorado, and not only because of the green crosses that you encounter throughout the year.
That's true.
Unless you're a Rockies fan.
It can be 70 in the morning and snow 7 inches in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's
nothing
awesome.
like
It can.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's nothing like
It's
it.
fantastic. It's fantastic. Wayne, have a great call. Get some rest, and we will be listening tonight. Billy and I can't wait to follow you guys up.
Thanks, man.
All right, take care, guys.
You bet.
It's the best.
Wayne Larrivee, voice of the Packers, joining us live from Denver. He can go back to bed now and get ready for the Packers playing.
That is impressive efficiency. 45 minutes to the top of the mountain. That's when you know it's dialed.
That's where you know
He's got that down to a science.
Veteran.
That truly is that airport is a marvel. Because not only is it one of the largest spots possible, it is as far away from the Metroplex as it possibly could be. The terminals might be longer than the freaking runways in that place.
Oh yeah,
Colorado Airport is a
huge one.
sight to behold. It's
It's
also
a
like a
big
big
hub.
shopping center in the interior with some really good food options.
It's a big
if you have to
hub
lay
airport.
over there for like 17 hours
Yeah.
if you take that Frontier one to Vegas.
It's a bumpy land there though because of the mountain, but it's
That's
a big
true.
hub of an airport. Yeah,
That's true. All right. When we come back, we're closing up shop for the week. Getting ready again. Big weekend.
Big
Brewers,
one coming
Braves,
up, dude.
Williamsport,
So good.
Chris Sale and Miz this afternoon, 3:00. We got Packers and Broncos tonight. We're getting closer to the college football opener with the Badgers and Notre Dame. It's all on our plate.
And it's all in the
Everything
betting
that's
menu
happening.
at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I'll be jumping onto that one later on today.
And we have our Happy Place Hemp Wake and Bake story coming up next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Let's get it. Closing ceremonies are here. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison. Drew, Billy, and Armen huddled up for another 10 minutes or so. Time for our Wake and Bake story, brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Use the code HUDDLE for 25% off and free shipping. Oh, baby. Back to school. Celebrate the end of summer. Do it with some Drift seltzers, some gummies, the muscle creams and balms and lotions and potions that these guys sell. The best CBD products you'll find anywhere. Discounted by 25% with free shipping with the code HUDDLE at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Billy, what are we looking at?
So this one comes just actually in part thanks to the talk and text line. Aaron in Carolina just dropped in a couple of minutes ago. Kind of like the Brewers paying Ryan Braun kind of enjoy Ryan Braun getting $1.8 million through 2031.
Let's go.
Still getting cash. Hasn't played since 2020. It's Ryan Braun Day on July 1st. A lot of people coined that Bobby Bonilla Day. And I'd gone back and I'm like, I actually think there's some funnier names of players that get deferred payment contracts that might draw more of a smile. Now, I believe the Kyle Loesch ones have expired. He had just finished his money that had been deferred. But on Spotrac, I don't know exactly how you guys pronounce
Never figured it out.
They have a full list, Drew, of all the major league teams that have money deferred. And we talked about the Steven Strasburg money that was deferred earlier on here today. Everyone knows the Shohei Ohtani money is a huge one, and that one still gets deferred. But some of the names of players that have deferred money in Major League Baseball might even make more people smile. Like Manny Ramirez's final $2 million check coming from the Boston Red Sox this year in his deferred payment. Or like Alex Bregman, Cubs third baseman, still having in the midst $20 million tied in starting from 2035 to 2044 with the Red Sox. And in 2044 or 2034 through 2041, $8.8 million coming to him from the Chicago Cubs annually for Alex Bregman.
Wow, double dipping.
He's like, excuse me, I'm going to make sure that I protect myself with all this cash. Now, there are, again, some really, really great players. Madison Bumgarner. Corbin Burns has a bunch of his money deferred with his Diamondbacks contract. And then, there's just one name that one of these things is not necessarily
like
the other.
Okay.
Brett Saberhagen.
Come on now.
Hey, now.
Starting pitcher for the Mets. Gets $300K sent to him in 26, 27, and 28. I think by far my favorite one, while we all know the massive contract that Chris Davis, not with a K, with a C, signed with the Baltimore Orioles. He gets a couple of $3.5 million checks all the way through 2032. Then it tapers off to $1.4 million for the next 5 years. But nobody better than the much forgotten, often imitated, never duplicated, Vinny Castilla.
Oh, yes. Big Cat.
Who's still making $100K from the Rockies for 4 years.
Yeah.
All these teams have 13 million, 14 million, even if you're the, small market Kansas City Royals. The Detroit Tigers even have $31 million coming up down the line in deferred money. The Brewers have 3 different players. They're making $40 million. Christian Yelich has a bunch of deferred money that kicks in later on. The Cardinals, $55 million. And then here's the Colorado Rockies with that big tab of $426,000.
That's pretty awesome. I'm sure he'll take
still
it.
Tied in.
Still good if you can get it, but yeah, not the same.
Enjoy the fact that, as you mentioned, the big cat's still getting a check. Still tied in there in the midst.
I mean,
and make sure you guys keep me on the books for a little while because I'm still counting on that $100,000 coming in.
Saberhagen hasn't pitched in 25 years.
That's crazy.
25
His
years.
Last year was 01. Now he had a nice career. Now people might forget.
Good pitcher.
A couple Cy Youngs, I think, actually early in his career with the Royals.
He did.
He did have a good
World
career.
Series MVP, 2-time Cy Young.
But a different generation ago. But now was Galarraga
Pitched a
or
no-hitter?
Castilla Big Cat? I think I mixed that up.
You might have got that.
Yeah, maybe
Galarraga was.
Galarraga.
Yeah,
But they
El
were,
Gato.
there it is. But
Gato
yeah,
Grande.
man, that's pretty good if you can get it.
Yeah.
Not a bad situation to live in. Also, too many people are only clowning the Mets for Bobby Bonilla Day. He is also still getting cash as well from the Baltimore Orioles. Grabs a quick $500K from them for the next 3 years.
They're off the
You
hook.
got cash going all over the place.
People clown the Mets, but the Orioles are off the hook. But at least Bonilla was a really good player, though. You're right. I mean, some guys are worth it more than others.
Wow. That is, I didn't know Saberhagen was still getting paid.
Isn't that hilarious?
Actually, our buddy El Jefe, John Greenberg, when he was a clubby, for some reason, every once in a while, the big league players and visiting clubhouse kids, they strike up a relationship. And,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. El Jefe was tight with Saberhagen.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, listen, born and raised in Chicago Heights, Illinois, still hanging out around
here. And I remember all of a sudden the bartender brought us a couple of beers. And we looked across the bar, and it was Brett Saberhagen sending us some beers.
Baby Sabes, come on now,
good dude.
Send the boys over a couple of cold ones. So, well, you know what? If you see Brett Saberhagen out, the beers can be on him because he's still getting a check in the
$250. But then he also, if you pitch 10 years, you get the $290,000 a year pension.
I was gonna say the pension.
If you max out the pension,
he's got the gold card.
My man's living large.
Yeah. Living the dream right there.
And that's the full payout. He could probably just start taking that at the full payout of $290K a year from the pension plan.
And I was going to say that starts right at 60 or 55 for
62.
62. Okay.
62 if you're fully vested. 62, you can draw it.
Oh, boom. He just hit into it for Brett Saberhagen. So that's a nice little chunk of change. And again, is anybody all that dialed in? Maybe not. But I just appreciate the fact that we can still find in here and pocket watch, because pocket watching is one of America's absolute favorite pastimes now. And now they have websites that are fully set in and locked into only tracking how much money teams are still paying guys like Mark Melanson.
Wild.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Closer for the
getting $1 million
Pirates.
from the Giants. 26, 27, and 28.
Epic. Absolutely.
What a great.
Everybody remembers Kyle Finnegan.
Can you not?
Stud. He's got $2 million coming from the Nationals in 27 and 28.
Oh Lord. That's just wild.
The massive cash and all the huge payouts that the Dodgers have of $5 million, $3 million. Tommy Edmonds got $2.5 million every single year. Teoscar Hernandez. Keep me under a line. I don't want anybody thinking I'm making too much money. $900,000. Keep me a little bit lower so people don't expect me in that 7-figure variety. I'm trying to stay in a lower tax bracket.
Fantastic. All right, time to close it up. We're getting out of here, baby.
Better believe it. I'm going to go join Brian Butch. I'm going to jump into the den here in a few minutes.
Right.
Oh, I got to check that out.
She's dead.
Yeah.
You're watching that. Packers tonight. After the Brewers game, you'll be dialed into the Packers Broncos. Kickoff is at 8. Our coverage starts at 4 with Doug Russell here in Milwaukee. And we got Packers OT late into the evening. Talk to you then. We'll see you Monday at 5 a.m.
We'll be talking smack. Peace.